All right. Okay. What is that?
Okay.
Why is it blue?
What's blue?
Why is this audio blue?
What does that even mean?
Well, I don't know what it means, Matt, but it means we're live.
Oh, we live?
Yeah. Fuck. I gotta turn off the. Hold on. I gotta turn off the.
Oh, Jesus.
Give it a second. No, we're still live. We're still live, but I'm trying to get the setting for. What is that?
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Keep talking, Matt. Say hi to the people. We're not live on camera. We're live on audio.
Just
on,
audio.
On Twitch. Talk about your feelings.
My feelings towards getting this started. Impatient. That's what I am.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Surprised I even woke up on time.
I had to turn off the heat.
It's gonna be chilly in here.
Yeah, it's gonna be chilly, but we'll be able to hear ourselves.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, Sean.
Wait, I wish this would turn off.
Call your landlord.
Okay. All right, well, we're live. We're live. Scene up. Visuals are live. Welcome, everybody. Everybody on the internet. Excuse my heater. It's cold outside. I live in Michigan. We both live in Michigan, I suppose. My name is Sean. This is Matt. This is the Bored at Home podcast, episode 4. It's going to be a musical.
I'm glad you're keeping count because I didn't even know what number.
No, I have to keep count. I edit all the videos, number them, post them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 4th one. 3rd one was the best one. Maybe we can make it better this episode. What are you doing?
Turn this light off.
What light off? Now it's dark as fuck, Matt. It'll work. That's fine. It's up to you. You're the light guy. Yeah, just the lighting now. I look like I'm in a horror movie.
You're all right. You're all right.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The
You're
visuals is not what matters. Okay? The audio is what matters. Because we're putting this up on iTunes. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to check us out on iTunes. If you're listening on SoundCloud, same thing. We are streaming live right now on Twitch, and we do this every week. So if you guys want to stop by and talk, we out here.
Yeah,
so,
isn't that furry kid supposed to come by?
The furry kid's supposed to come by. I don't think he's going to.
Why not?
So I had a young gentleman.
Why isn't he come by?
Well, he's fucking 12. I had a gentleman watching my Twitch stream the other night, for those of you that are listening. And he said he wanted to talk about furries because he identifies as a furry. And I told him to be here, but he probably won't be here because he's 12.
It's like that thing we're talking about when people ask you what time you're going to play in your band.
Yeah.
They have zero intention of actually doing it, but for some reason they feel the need to like ask to make you feel better.
Yeah, everyone acts like they're going to show up to stuff, but...
They never fucking do.
Well, but think about it though, man. It's just kind of nice. They're kind of just being nice.
No, yes, they are being nice, but why? Like, why?
Because it's nice to be nice.
No, I'm not saying why be nice, but I'm saying why. Like, why do you feel it would be nice to ask? Like, why do you have that inclination to be like, hey, when is it? But like, you're not gonna do it, so it's just you're gonna be like a dick afterwards. Like, you can just not say anything at all.
No.
And you like, there's no feelings hurt. You don't have any animosity towards them.
I know what you mean, but I don't think people lie. I don't think most people are like lying. I don't know. Some people are lying, but kids especially, they're not lying. They just don't think ahead. Think like the average person. Yeah, stupid. Like whatever. The average person, right?
Okay.
When you say, "Hey, I got a show," to your friend, right? And they say, "Oh, yeah. What time is it? Well, I'll go there. I'll be there to your event." It's not because they want to lie to you and deceive you. I think it's more so like they like want to support you, but then like when the time comes, they realize they don't want to go anywhere, and then they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
it's a good thing to like show support to someone's face.
But why do you
even if you can't end up showing up?
Why is it a feeling of
right?
Like why is that considered nice then to ask? Like,
is it nice when somebody doesn't it feel good when somebody tells you that they're going to show up to support you?
No, because I just assume that they're not going to show up because the odds are they're not going to show up.
Well, you sound like a negative Nancy.
I'm not a negative Nancy. I'm just telling you statistically that's what happens. Like more times than not.
It does seem like that. Well, I don't know. Like I suffer from bad memory dude. So like I forget. Like I won't even think about something. I'll be like, okay, I got something to do Saturday, and I'll know I have something to do Saturday. But then when Saturday comes 4 days later, I fucking have totally forgot whatever thing I said I was gonna go do. So and then you make other plans. It happens to everybody, right? You just forget. Like you got so much shit going on. We all know so many people. Everybody's doing something, especially with social media and like whatever. Everyone's in a band or is an artist or whatever. It's hard to show up and show support all the time.
Yeah, but it's hard to escape the fact that, like if I text them, like if I invite a friend to a show and I like go out of my way to text them like hours before, and then there's just no response. I'm like, yeah, you didn't forget. I know you now. You know, and you still.
Well, it depends on who. Dude, it totally depends, man. Because some people, I'm not on my phone all the time. I might not get a text for
excuses.
No, these are just
excuses.
No, this is anecdotal evidence, right? It's like not everybody has their phone all the time. Half the time people are probably just ignoring your texts because they're too embarrassed to like say or like shamed to say like, "Oh, I don't want to go." But I don't know, man. It's not always like that. You can't assume the worst. That's what make people grow old and fucking bitter.
Man,
at 30.
No, it's not that. It's just it's like, okay, if replace me with a hot girl and she wants to fuck, that person's texting back.
I'm not texting back.
Or dude, whether it may be. And if they're texting the other person, like they are texting back immediately.
That's true.
There's not going to be like a 6-hour delay, and then like when you're actually playing, they text you like, "Oh, sorry, I couldn't make it." Like, I forgot. I saw your text now. I'm like, bullshit, you didn't look at your phone for 6 hours?
Get the fuck
out of here.
That's true.
Get the fuck out of here.
One of the greatest things to ever happen in some ways, and the worst thing in some ways is when, like, iOS and iPhones have, like, the red. Like, receipt. Now when you send a text.
It's the red receipt?
Yeah, it's like it's a red receipt. So, like, when somebody doesn't read your text, or reads your text and doesn't text back, like, you see. I think that shit's fucking awesome. I love that shit. I turned it off on my phone because I don't want anyone knowing, because I don't answer anyone's texts. Or like what happens is like I'll get like 3 texts at a time, and then I'll answer one, or then I'll get on doing something else, and I don't want to look like an asshole because I don't want it to look like I read your text because it popped up but I was doing something else.
What gets me is when, like, okay, even if you don't have that but you sent the text, and then, like, you see them on Facebook, mobile Facebook. So you know they're on the phone.
Yo.
Like, there's no, like, I know you got it, and I know you saw it. Like,
that's one of my favorite things, dude. When I used to have Facebook, man, when somebody would text back, and then there was, like, mobile post, love hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't know, like, if I text you and you didn't text back, and then your Facebook post was, "Oh, me and Jake are having so much fun today," and you're like on your phone. I'm like, bro, you fucking didn't text me back. I know you saw that shit. That shit's what drives people to shoot people, man.
I don't know about that.
There's goods, there's positives, and there's negatives with that shit, man. Because like, in one way, it's like keeps you all connected, and it's interesting to see how people react and stuff. But then like, in the negative side, you see how people really act, and how people will ignore you. You know what I'm saying? Because we all do that shit. We all ignore somebody at some point because we're busy or whatever. We're more interested in something else. Now, like, it's the age of fucking information, man. It's like, okay, I don't know if you know about, I think you do, right? Yeah, we were talking about this. Christy has this fucking app on her phone. I think it's called Find My Friend. They wanted us to get it. Where you literally... If you have this app on your phone, it's like a GPS locator for any of your people on your friends list. If they have the app on your phone, so they could see where you're at, you could see where they're at. And my fucking sister just shows up to like her friends, like wherever they're at. If she's like downtown Ferndale and she sees Gina or whatever is like also downtown, she'll just fucking walk right up to her. Like, "Oh, I saw you on Find My Friend." That's fucking creepy, dude.
I don't like that, man.
Nobody's got privacy.
It's weird because I feel like that's just a way for like the man to like find you. It's they market it as, "Hey, this is a sweet new app that allows you to like see where your friends are in case of that situation happening." Man. But really, it's like it's the government being like super sneaky and just being like, these fucking idiots.
You really think it's the government, or
they're gonna get it? Everybody's gonna get this, and then we're gonna be able to see where everybody's at because the GPS is gonna be on all the time.
Do you really think it's the government, or
it's? I don't know if it's the government,
Yeah,
but like
on,
it's like it's a higher up source.
I don't know,
let's
man.
be real.
Come on.
Let's be real. Like, it's it's like the whole fingerprint on the phone thing. Like, I ain't using that. I don't want my fucking fingerprint, like, information
that's not
in a
how...
system. Like, if you get arrested, you're already done. But, like, if you're not arrested, I don't want my fucking fingerprint anywhere near, like, a source.
You can't
where
do shit with fingerprint. Was somebody going to steal your identity with a fingerprint?
They have
not fucking 1910.
They have you on the book, Sean.
It's 2017.
Listen,
you got fucking
I like
retina
to be
scanners.
incognito as much as possible. I still have a phone, so they can still track it.
What the fuck? I bet you got. If you have Wi-Fi on your phone, dude, you're being tracked like all the time, dude.
If I can make it harder for them, I will. Them. I don't know.
You can get rid of a phone and don't go outside.
But to a certain
Change
extent,
your name.
it's
Move to
like
Albania.
I'm willing to do so much to keep my phone, and then I don't want to like add like extra things to make it easier. Like I'm gonna keep my phone, but I'm not gonna get an app.
You
I'm
just
not gonna
want
put my
to conveniently say fuck the man. I don't think, dude. That's just a conspiracy, man. I think what happens is everybody's afraid of technology, man. Like, we all are. It's inherent in human nature because of artificial intelligence possibly inevitably being better than us. We're all just kind of scared of the rapid, like, advancement of technology, right? So I think, like, that just goes hand in hand with, like, this notion that we're constantly being tracked on our phones and shit. Because, like, it's happening anyway. Like, there's nothing you could do about it. There's fucking literally, like, cameras everywhere you go. You know, if you have a phone at all, you can just be identified and tracked. 100%. If you have a phone and it has a battery in it, they can just access it. The government or secret organizations, whatever, like, intelligence. So it doesn't matter what else you fucking do. They don't care where you're at, how much fucking Burger King you're eating.
I agree. Like, if they want to, they will, but don't make it easier for them. And...
It's insanely easy.
As a conspiracy, we also thought it was a conspiracy that people are reading our information, our texts, and our emails. Oh, they're not doing that, and then oh shit, they're not. Well, they actually did do it. And on when you're talking about artificial intelligence and shit, it was a headline. I actually read the article. I always do that. I need to actually read.
Yeah, you just read the headline and act like you know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on, but from what I read, we can pull it up, but it's some Japanese law firm. They're replacing all their coworkers with artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah,
it's like the beginning to the end.
Yeah. Well, I was also reading a thing. I actually read the article about it. It might have been in a similar series of articles. It's all kind of happening now globally. Mm-hmm. But the idea was that artificial intelligence is very likely to take over in management positions first, because people are less and less social with their bosses, because it's it's a very antisocial lifestyle that people are living nowadays. That managers don't have to be nice and shit, because nobody wants to talk to their manager anyway. They're just going to replace them with robots first. It's not going to be the average worker. It'll be high management, because they're the ones that get paid the most anyway. So they're going to remove that. First, hypothetically, this is what they're saying is the most likely thing to happen.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How would that play out though?
Well, they would just have robots, dude. Your manager would more or less, probably in the early stages before we really have nice looking robots, it would probably be just some sort of application. You know how if you work in an office, we all have kind of a connected system, shared files and shit on our computers. It would just be like that. If you have to ask your manager questions, you would go to this application or this artificial intelligence source, and you could, it would be able to answer questions and handle things and do administration tasks.
It makes sense for work related issues, but obviously everything would be work related in your job. But
that's the point.
If you're asking for hey, I need time off,
well, that's the point. Is that it's only really doable if we can have management that's totally antisocial. But what they would probably do is they'd have to delegate the very non-emotional aspects of being a manager and the non I don't know, human parts of being a manager to the artificial intelligence, but then they'd have to probably also still have like an HR rep at your work to like handle the little stuff, like, hey, I had a baby, can I take an extra day off because it's sick? Then the real human would have to have that empathy and say, yeah, okay. Like, I don't know that, I mean, but that's what's scary, right? It's scary. What if they do just totally get rid of that empathy and it's just robots or whatever being our boss? That's terrifying.
We have no
right?
idea. Like, they very well could have still human interaction like that. But if they just like, no, we have a guideline set, and this is what we're gonna hit. This is the amount of time that you get off, and these are the circumstances that you can get it off.
Yeah, and anything else, just straight termination.
Nope, absolutely
Boom,
not
having it. 3
tardies, you're canned.
Yeah,
it's just like there's literally because like if everything's automated, I mean there'll be like shady ass businesses that are like that. You see shady ass businesses like that with humans.
Yeah.
So like there's gonna be like automated work like that. Automated jobs.
Well, that's what that's when you think of like kind of a dystopian future where artificial intelligence is king. That's what you think of, is just everything's automated. There's no need for fucking labor workers because it's all done by robots and machines, which is inevitably what we'd probably want to do. Costs less, it's efficient. You can have more precise machinery. You can have basically everything would just work better. Why is the screen black? Hold on. Oh, screen's black. We're good.
It's the next evolution of man, like artificial intelligence. I think.
Well, yeah.
It makes sense. Like when you talk about evolution, like I feel maybe I'm completely off the mark on this, but from what I get when I talk to people, they think it's like some kind of like weird thing that you start morphing into. Like it's just kind of like slowly your body starts changing. Everybody's like, but really it's just like weird genetic mutations, and like that strand just keeps getting bred through. You see it in dogs all the time. Like a purebred dog, they keep breeding it, breeding the same symptoms, and then like over time, that's what it becomes.
Well, that's how evolution works.
But like eventually, we're gonna get to the point where it's like artificial intelligence meets like man, and like you already see it now. We have like robotic arms and shit, and eventually at what point, like there's gonna be a point when like we're gonna be half man, half android, or whatever.
Yeah, but
the fuck
I feel
it is.
like,
and then it's just gonna be that's gonna be like the next evolution of man is like.
I don't know. I could say next, but you know how long it takes to really evolve? We're talking like a 1,000,000-year span. I think that like we'll outdo ourselves before we really truly physically evolve. Like for instance,
physically, not it's just intellectual.
Well, that's evolution.
Thing. Yeah.
Like,
well, I know that, but like it's like it's not really like in the terms of actually evolution, but it's like this is the next step because like mentally, like or intellectually, that's where we're at. We're at a point when we can do this kind of stuff, and I think this is the next step. Like I don't think you'll see. Like from the Neanderthal to where we are now, I don't think you're going to see that kind of like.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
I don't think there's not enough time on this earth for that to happen. Yeah. I feel like some shit will go down before then. But this is like the next evolution is like machine and man. I think that's like the next one.
I think it's safe to say that the next evolution, if we consider it more of an intellectual evolution, would be that we replace everything with machine parts. So maybe we have like in the Matrix where they have like the little docking ports on the back of their head, and everybody just kind of has that. Maybe that's something we do, but to have an actual physical evolution, it would take like 1,000,000 years of us doing this, which I don't think obviously we would get to. But for instance, an example of actual physical evolution would be if we decided to always just have robotic arms because they're better. And like everybody had robotic arms, so only people with robotic arms with just stubs at their shoulders, they're the only people that produced. Then eventually, after 1,000,000 years or 100,000 years, we would just start making babies that didn't have arms because we would just attach arms to them. I don't think we could ever get to that. It would take so long. We're more likely to get hit by a comet or to fucking just bomb ourselves before that ever happens. But yeah, like so when you use the word evolution, be careful how you define it because it's physical evolution takes a long time. It would have to be something like that. But this is mutations like that.
I feel like it's the next step though. It's like
I believe it's the next step.
Even though it's not like an actual mutation, I think it's that's the next step in the evolution of man. It would be interesting to see what we look like in 1,000,000 years from now. Or like what will we actually be? I don't think so.
Well, a million years, dude. Who knows how many times the asteroid's gonna hit the Earth?
Yeah,
and wipe us out.
We play. It's not good. It's not looking good.
It's a dangerous game, man.
It's a very dangerous game we're playing.
Just existing.
Because who was it? NASA or was it some sort of like one of those conferences, like an asteroidal conference of like international or whatever? And they were talking about how ill prepared we are for some sort of comet. Like even if we know about it, it's like they say it takes something like 6 years to build a ship and send it off, and at the very latest we would have a minimum of 2 years notice if there was a comet coming our way. So like we'd be fucked if like
right now. If we found out today that an asteroid was going to hit us in 2 years that would like basically wipe us out, we would not be able to do anything about it.
I mean, I would hope
everybody moved to Mexico.
No, well, it wouldn't matter. That wouldn't matter if a comet fucking
depends on where it hits.
Well,
I hope it hits China.
If you listen to Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson, they believe that one of the comets that hit, that wiped out everything about 10,000, 12,000 years ago, hit North America.
Right. Well, it was a barrage. It wasn't just one. It was.
Well,
multiple.
it was one big one that hit and melted all the glaciers. And like when they talk about Noah's
one
Ark,
big barrage.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Multiple comets at once, and then like 1,000 years later, it was another barrage. You don't just get hit by one. It's like there's a few. I can't
remember the specifics. I don't know. I don't know offhand, but it hit roughly around North America, or like in the middle of North America, like the Great Plains region. And it caused massive flooding. And when they talk about Noah's Ark, that's what they're like. That's what they think that they're referring to. Because the flood only went so far, and it pretty much burned everything in that like middle layer of things. Because when you actually
the Great Plains,
no, across the world, because like there was fire raining down everywhere just from the comet impact. And when you look at where all of the megafauna are, which are like. I don't know what the classification is. I think it's any animal over 250 pounds, or maybe
just big ass animals.
Big ass animals. Most of all of the megafauna are in Africa. There's megafauna other places. Like you have grizzly bears, of course, but like less like grizzly bears are such like it's like you got a grizzly and like some elk. Yeah. But when you look at like fucking tigers and gorillas and elephants and all that, like all of the big animals, it's like why are they all in Africa? Like what happened?
Nothing fucking hit there, bro.
Well, yeah, they were so far south. They were like in this. That was like the one safe zone. That like that's where man came from too. That's why they think that first men.
Yeah, that whole event, as far as how it's being described or proposed or whatever, pretty sure it happened. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like the evidence is really overwhelming. But that entire event, it's crazy the scale of it because it literally created the Great Plains. The reason the middle part of America between the Appalachians and the Rocky, the reason it's all fucking flat, like all of it's just flat, just rolling plains and shit, except for Denver, I guess, Colorado. But that's kind of in the Rockies. The reason it's flat,
Rockies go through
there. Yeah. The reason it's all flat in the middle is because of that event and the glaciers that just like were surfing south because they were like melting off of like this ginormous ice cap or whatever, right? Speaking of ice caps, I saw this thing. I saw a video of it and a picture of it. On the North Pole, there's a huge chunk of ice. I think it's either the North or the South Pole.
It's the Arctic. It's cracked.
It's the Arctic. Yeah, it's cracked and it's about to fall off, and it would be the largest piece of ice to fall off. I say piece of ice, but this thing's massive. It's like miles and miles wide, but it's gonna basically break off of the land and go in the ocean. It's melting off, and it's the biggest that's been recorded in like 50 years or something.
And to put it in perspective, that piece is so minute amount, like it's so minuscule to the amount that we're talking about that melted in the Great Plains. Like when you that one that's about to crack is like
it's the size of Rhode Island.
It's like a tiny ice cube compared to like a whole glacier, the whole Arctic.
Yeah.
So like that flooding that you're talking about, man, the volume that happened in the amount of time, like the 2-week span. Which is insane, and humans were able. They lived through that.
Mm-hmm.
So
of
like
us.
this, I not
Alpha males.
Yeah. God, I mean, we were hanging by a thread.
just
There was like
alphas.
maybe a couple thousand people left, but
Yeah.
if this Arctic glacier or what is it? What is it actually called? It's like an ice shelf.
Yeah, the ice shelf. Yeah.
An ice shelf breaks off. I mean, there's hope for man. I mean, if we can survive a giant ass comet impact, I mean, not like fucking 95%
Oh
of
yeah,
humans
I mean
die.
that ice
I mean,
shelf's not going to affect us, immediately. No.
but like,
Yeah, I mean it's like minuscule. Like we won't even notice the effects of that particular ice shelf. It's so small, but it just is. It's still happening. That's what's crazy is people try to still pretend like global warming's not happening and like these events are not unfolding, but we're just watching it happen. A fucking piece of ice the size of Rhode Island's about to just collapse off the Arctic, and that happens like multiple times a year, basically.
no one even gives a fuck. But
Yeah.
the people that don't believe are ill-informed or they just are paid off. Like the science, like they say, oh, look at the science behind it. It's like the scientists there's like only a handful of scientists that still believe that global warming's not real
In the world,
Yeah, and
dude.
they're the same people that said tobacco didn't cause cancer. It's like they've literally been paid off their entire. You can like go through and you can research them and you can see that they're fucking being paid off.
Yeah.
And that's where like these fucking people claim that global warming's not. Like,
It's ridiculous.
Why would you listen to that?
Did you not watch the Leonardo DiCaprio thing? So I'm trying to think what that was called. It was a documentary Leonardo DiCaprio was in. It was called Before the Flood.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. Very informative. Very beautiful. It's National Geographic. It's gonna be beautiful. But everybody basically admits, like in the government, people that know about global warming will admit it's just politics. Even these scientists, the 1 out of 10 that say, or like the 3 in the world that say, oh, global warming's not real, it's because they're getting paid to say that. You know, it should say something that pretty much every scientist in the world is like, yeah, this is undeniably true. And yet politicians are still saying, no, it's not. Like, politicians don't know anything about fucking science, relatively. And it was funny because in this documentary, it was a great documentary. Anyone listening, I advise you to go watch it. I don't know where you can find it now. They took it off YouTube. It's on Xbox. I know that. You can rent it. It's like $3. Anyway, you find it. It's fucking good. They had the mayor of Miami
Okay.
at the time. I don't know if he's still mayor. So
Well,
it filmed a couple years ago.
I'm gonna get. Well, oh yeah.
Yeah, he could be, could not be, whatever. Anyway, the mayor of Miami was saying, global warming is obviously real. Like, our sea levels are rising and our city's underwater. Like, if you go to Miami, it had all this imagery and all this video of literally the streets at the lower part of Miami are just flooding, where they're spending like 80% of their money in the city just trying to like raise ground levels around hotels and like downtown areas because they need to raise the ground a couple feet just to give them an extra 50 years of life.
Holy shit.
And that's what he said. He said to Leo, like, Leo's like, well, why do you think that, Governor, who's the fucking guy from Miami that was running for president? Rick Rubio, one of the biggest climate change deniers. He's like, why do you think your own governor, is denying climate change? And he's like, this governor's never been to Miami. He's like, we're down here struggling. We need help. We need money. He's like, I put all of the money and even some of my own money into these efforts to reduce the flooding in the major populated parts of the city. And he's like, I'm very proud of the work we've done. We've put in new pipes to like push the water out of the city into the fucking ocean again.
Wouldn't it just come back though?
Well, yeah, that's what it does. He's pushing it out, and it's just coming back. But you have to keep pushing it out because if you just let it come in, they'd be flooded. So he's like, I put all these pipes and all this infrastructure into the city to try to save it. And he's like, I think we did really good, but we maybe only have 50 years left.
That's insane.
And he's like, the city's going to be underwater in 100 years. Nobody's going to be able to live here, regardless of what you do today. Like, nobody's going to be living in Miami. It's impossible.
The crazy thing is that's just for a first world civilization. That's for first world civilization. So that's people that have resources. Like you look at the Maldives are I don't know how to pronounce the name. I think it's Maldives Island.
Yeah. Yes. The Maldives Islands.
The fucking there's one specifically where it's like they're literally just sitting in the middle of the fucking ocean. off like this piece of land. Like 1 million people live on this like tiny ass little. It's insane to look at because it just looks like a sandbar.
Yeah.
That they built like a couple apartment complexes. Like it looks like what Harlem? It looks like Harlem from
like
fucking New York. Like in the middle of the fucking
shithole.
Yeah, it's a shithole, and like they have to get everything shipped in. They have to get water shipped in. The thing is, it's like you have islands like that are going to be underwater much faster. They don't have nearly the amount of resources. And the thing is, when you're talking about global warming, we can deny it because we have the ability to keep surviving and do that. But like these smaller, they don't have a choice. And they're looking into things like geoengineering to stop global warming from happening, which would be like spraying chemicals in the air or in the atmosphere to reflect the light or to help refract light, so the polar ice caps don't melt as much. But the thing is, who would regulate that? Like if we're talking about geoengineering to stop global warming, spraying things that we don't know what the after effects are going to be into an atmosphere, who governs that? Because like these smaller islands want it done, and if they do it, like what do we do about that? Do it like how do you punish them? Who's going to punish them? You can't be governed like it's like we need like an entire world thing. Like when you talk about international, that only affects people that get along. Like you're not going to see North Korea agreeing on some shit that the UN agrees. Like so you need like everybody on board because this is like all of ours.
Yeah. Well,
and you can't have one group specifically doing it because I mean they're being affected. So like I would understand why they want to get it done.
Yeah.
Or if they did it by themselves without any permission. Like who's there to give permission on this kind of stuff? It's crazy.
Yeah, you don't. There's not really a conglomerate of every country in the world. Like when you talk about making decisions for the world atmosphere and doing something so drastic, you do have to kind of have like everybody on board. Even the little piece of shit country that like no one likes or doesn't have any money. You have to have them on board because it's unethical to do anything to our atmosphere that's drastic, without having people on board. But I guess we do anyway by fucking it up in the first place, right?
That's true.
But those islands, I'm pretty sure the Moldova Islands were in that documentary as well.
Were they?
There was all I remember, because I don't remember what their islands were called, but there's a small island nation, and the leader of the nation had a big speech at the Paris Treaty meeting or whatever. It's a huge summit in Paris 2 years ago, last year, something like that. And he was saying, we will be completely underwater. Our country's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Like fucking Atlantis. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we have however many tens of thousands of people living here, and they're not going to have a home. 5 years ago we had houses. Now we don't even have houses. Everyone's like living in huts because it's impossible to go to another country because most countries won't have us, and it's impossible to like save our own stuff because we don't all have humongous boats. And they actually had to take measures they bought land somewhere, I don't know, on the mainland. I don't know what country, but they bought land from the government to basically move all their people there. And what they're doing is they're saying we'll pay for you to immigrate to this other place that we bought. We purchased land for everybody, all of our people. You can immigrate there, but people don't want to leave their house and leave, their families. So it's just really tough because we've already fucked them. They're fucked. Like we can give them money to relocate as a nation, but those fucking islands are goners, dude.
Well, it's not. It's like the fucked up thing. It's not us. Like it's a lot of the first world countries that are causing a lot.
I don't mean us by America. I mean like us collectively.
Yeah, but what I mean is like it's fucked up that these countries like the United States, United Kingdom, China, and all of these major polluters, they're the ones that are causing all of the sea rising. Not all of it, but like they're a major contributor to it. And they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be like, we don't want any refugees in our country. I mean, like if we were solely responsible, a majority responsibility proven, it was like fact, we still like our people would be like, we don't want those refugees here. I mean, you kind of see it now already with like certain refugees from like war zones.
Yeah,
it's like that's fucked up. You're the reason why, and you won't take it. It's weird that you have.
I don't care if we're on the light side or the dark side.
Oh,
As long as we get free pizza on Tuesdays.
I thought the volume was down. Grand Isle, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Yeah, it's we have an inherent amount of responsibility, I think, being so responsible for the damage. But it's politics. Again, it's just that politicians don't want to take that responsibility or invest in that responsibility because they want to put their money in other shit, put their money into making more money. I think the U.S. is number 3 in terms of like sheer amount of greenhouse gases produced.
That's insane.
Well, it should be. We should be number 1. Number 1 is China, pretty sure. Don't know the numbers. Number 1 is China. Number 2 is India, and then like America's 3rd. But the problem with India is that they don't have money. Like in India, they can't invest in all the shit that we could invest in.
Yeah.
We actually have more money than China or India available to us to invest in, alternative sources of energy. In India, as big of a fucking place as they still are burning poop for energy. Straight up. A lot, like it's something like 60% of households in India don't have electricity.
Does that?
So like even though they produce more, it's because they're like straight up burning coal in their front yard because they need heat. They like make fucking poop pies and they put them on the ground and they cook on them. Like that's because they don't even have energy. So
does that release methane though?
Yeah, which is worse. But the thing is they don't have electricity. So India's big thing, the reason they're mad at us, even though they produce more greenhouse gases, the reason they're mad is because we should be responsible because we have more resources.
Yeah. And
they say, their leaders are like, America needs to fucking step up because if you can't do it, how could we ever do it? We don't even have electricity in our houses.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous what we're doing. So even though we're number 3 and China's really fucking bad, we're pretty much doing the worst. China politicians are more invested in alternative energy than American politicians are now. So we're going to be number 1 eventually.
Dude, you see China had to evacuate a city?
Dude, their air is fucking bad.
Because, it was it was way over whatever the air pollution mark is. It's kind of like how we have the Richter scale for earthquakes. It's like air pollution, there's a scale for that. And, like, it was so insane that they had to evacuate people.
Well, they're getting cancer. City. Dude, people in China just straight up getting cancer. They're not smoking. They're not drinking. I mean, it exists there, but
it's just from breathing.
Just from breathing the air, you get cancer, and it is so fucked up. But what's going on in China is that the people are very invested in fixing it because it's affecting their everyday lives.
Yeah.
So you and me, global warming is not affecting our lives. Sure, maybe like in summer we're like fuck, it's hot, and in winter we're like damn, it's cold because we live in a temperate place. But it doesn't affect our everyday lives. We don't give a shit about global warming, whatever, because we live in excess. We've got a ton of shit. In China, they're all broke and they're getting cancer because of the air. They can't breathe when they go outside. So now the people have kind of come together in China and they're like pushing legislation on the government. They've got all this cool shit like applications on their phones where you can see what factories around you are not like meeting the standards for pollution.
Insane.
It's an application, and then if somebody's not meeting the standard, you can like basically file a complaint just from your iPhone, whatever. And so like the people are fucking taking shape and like trying to change the country over there because it's gotten so bad that they can't even breathe outside, which is what we're not doing because we don't care. So even though we're number 3, we're basically like the worst because we have so much responsibility and ability, but we don't give a shit. We're too busy saying it's not real.
Real talk. Like, all shit aside, doesn't that make you feel like, do you ever like sometimes just stop and like think about the way that you live your life and like what you do every day and kind of feel like a piece of shit? A little, not like a piece of shit.
You got real dark real quick.
No,
man.
but like that all of this is going on and we can sit here and talk about it on a podcast. But like, you ever thought about like there should be something bigger that we're doing to like help?
Well, absolutely, man. But and I don't mean to like. We've got a question in the Twitch chat, which I'll get to in a second. It's relevant to what we're talking about. I don't mean to like deter any responsibility from us, but there's a term in socioeconomics. I can't remember what it's called. I don't remember what the word is, but the idea is like you have to judge each society by their own standards. So you and I were born into the society. It's not our fault that like we just have these things, right?
But I'm asking you, Sean.
Right.
Every day.
All the time. I do feel bad all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fucking shower. I don't like using so much water. Like I think about it all the time. But the problem is that it's impossible to to really understand until you live the other way too. So, for instance, a baby's always fucking crying. You know why a baby's always fucking crying? Because every little bit of discomfort they feel is like the most immense pain they could have ever imagined. So that's why they're crying, because like if you pinch them, it's like the most insane thing to them. And that's what we are. We're just like, we don't get it because it hasn't existed in our reality. So you have to judge a society by its standards, but like the intellectuals of a society need to be able to kind of reach beyond that and understand what's going on and push us forward into like generally using less energy, being better in the world economy and whatever. So it's hard to do because it's just hard to understand, you know. We got a Twitch viewer. How do you help a country that can't help themselves? The social and political customs of India make it close to impossible to bring them up to speed in terms of modern society. I don't know what's going on in India. I know they don't have money, probably because they don't have any imports or exports. I don't really know why they're so broke. And, like, I guess their customs are very old-fashioned, but they're not, you know, they're not Middle East old-fashioned, you know.
No, but...
They're trying. They just don't have... They waited too long to evolve, I guess. I don't know.
It's weird because... You do look at it; they have the biggest population, or don't they have the biggest population?
China
India,
does.
Or I thought India did.
I'm pretty sure China. Well, India's huge.
Yeah,
it's China, India, and Russia are like the three big ones. But we also have more. China has like 1 billion people. We have 300 million. I think India's around us or something.
It's just like when you look at it. It's when you look at it for India's the way India lives. I feel like it's a mixture of culture, a mixture of culture and lack of resources for the amount of people that they have. So like, whereas Japan,
they have way more than
Japan. The Japanese, I feel like, as their culture, everything's about work, like always innovating, pioneering, and just fucking working like robots. Like all of the time, like overworking themselves.
It's because they're smarter.
Like to make the best things ever. Like that's just maybe it's stereotyping, but like that's kind of what it seems like over there.
Yeah.
The Indian people, it doesn't seem like that's their main focus. It seems like
I don't know if that's true.
Well, it doesn't seem like they put as much on like work itself.
I think they're a more religious population.
They value other things not as just as much as the Japanese do their physical work. I think in India they value religion a little bit more than the Japanese do.
They're just more old fashioned.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to take back what I said, because if anyone's listening, they might be like, "Oh, your fucking numbers are insane." Because I said I thought India was the same size as us. India has 1.2 billion people. That was a couple years ago, so probably about 1.3 billion people. China also has 1.4 billion people. So they've both got an insane amount of people. They both got 4 times as many people as America. So I correct myself on that.
And that's I think that's one of the big reasons. It's like, how do you?
That's like a third of the fucking world.
How the fuck do you have any? And the area, like the small fucking area that they're in. How do you provide for all those people in a prosperous way? And it's real hard.
It's very hard, it's very hard. You have to have fucking really good exports, which I don't know what India exports. I could look it up, but it's whatever.
Fucking tigers.
You know, we in America, even though we're in debt, we have a strong economy where, like, even though we're in debt, we have deals where we're not really in debt. We're still making tons of money and we're able to pay for everything. So China does the same thing. China has tons of money. Their government's just old and corrupt. But India, I just don't think has money, man. For that many people, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of people. And they're all living in straw fucking huts, you know. Grand Isle says, I ate 3 Kroger's frozen pizzas the other day. I feel like a piece of shit. When we're talking about, do you ever feel like a piece of shit?
Hey, man.
I drink 2 Monsters a day,
Don't feel like a piece of shit. I eat full pizzas all the time. What size pizza?
That's Matt's thing.
Yeah, well, that's my thing, man. What size pizzas are they? Like, what kind of, what's a Kroger size pizza?
Kroger? I don't know, man.
Are we talking like a 12-incher, an 8-incher? Like, and
said.
did you eat it like all at once? Did you eat all 3 at once? Or are we talking like
throughout
morning, lunch, dinner?
Yeah.
How, like, I need some more details. I need a little bit of description on this. You can't just throw that out
I don't
there.
know if it's like personal pizzas, I could down 3 a day easy. I could down probably 3 in one setting if they're like the little 4-piece pizzas, the little fuckers.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pizza.
You should sandwich that shit together and fucking nom, 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 nom.
He said, they said, I don't know if it's he or she, they are standard medium-sized pizzas.
So we're talking about like an 8-inch, 10-inch. It depends on where you get it from,
That's
roughly. It's probably it's probably a little bit smaller than a hot and ready. I'm gonna guess.
They did it across 3 days, not in one day.
Across 3 days?
Yeah.
3. Oh, then you're golden.
You're golden, dude. You're
don't
still
feel
a piece of shit.
Yeah. I
don't know, man. I eat a lot of pizza. I had a pizza yesterday. It wasn't a whole like. I had that little. Well, that was 2 days ago. The Little Caesars, dude. That shit's pretty good. Their deep dish, the eight corner boy.
I don't like.
Pretty solid.
Not a fan of square.
Really? I love square pizza, man.
It's too greasy. Like
you are a guy, okay.
It's too fucking greasy for me, man. Like,
really?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't made pizzas for so long, seeing how much grease goes into that pan and how little comes out when you actually do it. There's a lot of fucking grease, and like you fucking look at your hands when you're done. It's always grease. Like if you pick up just a regular like round piece of pizza, it's like your hand has some flour on it. It does have a little bit of grease, but you're fucking good. You're fucking good. You pick up a fucking square and you gotta wipe your hands off before you touch anything.
I guess it depends on where you're getting this pizza.
It doesn't matter.
I grew up next to Primo's, man. They got a Primo's in Berkeley, don't they?
A Primo's?
Yeah.
I think there's one on like 12 in Woodward.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I think so. There's a few now. They've spread out, but there's the pizza. They have square pizza slices.
Oh yeah.
Like their pizza, it's like $4 fucking slices, the square ones, and they're fucking good. They got the little pepperonis that are kind of like burnt a little bit.
Oh, those fucking spicy. Oh, that fucking spicy pepperoni.
That's good, man.
That fucking real shit. You know what I'm talking about? That fucking. That with that fucking real sauce, none of that ragu shit.
Yo, pause the stream. I think that's racist.
What? What's racist?
The Italian thing. I'm just joking, man.
What the fuck? What's racist about that?
I'm just joking. I'm just mad that I can't do a good Italian impression.
Who said I was Italian?
That's my African impression. Anyway, I don't know. We should all feel like shit for the shit we do. And that was the thing in that documentary with Leonardo da Vinci. Fuck, man. Hey, Monster, sponsor us, dude. Give us free Monster. All right, back to your regular scheduled program. Had to drink that. In the documentary, Leonardo da Vinci,
okay,
DiCaprio, he said, I feel bad that I'm over here preaching keeping a smaller carbon footprint when I know that I've had such a large one. He said like his footprint's way larger than most people's. He's fucking rich. He's a super rich actor. So it's just you got to understand that. We are just born into the way that we are, and the only thing you can really do is just try to be a little bit better. Because if everybody, like hypothetically, if everybody just tried to use 10% less energy, for instance, which is basically where this problem's coming from, because we're using fossil fuels and we're eating poorly.
Well, that's a huge one.
10%, if you just dialed it back 10%, maybe ate one less pizza a week, everybody would be helping the world by 10%. We'd be in a way better place. You don't even really have to change your lifestyle. And that was like a big thing in the movie. And one thing that people don't think about is the food. And this is even, I feel like shit for this, because when I watched the documentary, and I know we're hung up on it, but there's a lot of topics in this movie. When I watched it, they had a guy who was an expert on livestock talking about how, methane is really like the worst thing, because like one particle of methane gas is worth like 25 carbon or whatever, carbon dioxide. And so the food industry is a big deal in America because we all are fucking eating burgers, and like the amount of beef that's produced is just insane here because they're just breathing methane out in the air, which is doing us worse.
Yeah.
And he said like basically if you just change your diet a little bit, like if you exchange that that one steak you eat a week for like one breast of chicken or two breasts of chicken, you're going to be reducing your methane output, basically your carbon footprint, by like 60%. So he was so fucking easy, in this example he said to just reduce your carbon footprint an immense amount. And if everybody did that, we probably wouldn't even have a global warming problem. That's his whole thing. That he's the food guy. That's his thing. And I remember watching it and thinking like, okay, I'm going to eat less fucking beef because I eat steaks all the time. I had a steak last night because when I found out steaks are only like $3 or $4 at Meijer, depending on what cut you get, I just go to Meijer, get a steak, cook that shit up. That's a good dinner, So I started eating steaks a lot recently. And when I watched the movie, I said, okay, well, I'm going to try to eat more chicken instead. Even though I don't care, I'm a piece of shit. I'm mostly just like, well, fuck the world. Donald Trump's our president. You know, who cares about my footprint? I said I was going to eat more chicken. I still haven't. I don't think I've had chicken once since I saw that movie. I just eat steak all the time. And, you know, it's inherently in us, man. It's just like no matter how much we understand the problem, it's just so hard to make like a little bit of a compromise, man.
Yeah, that's part of why I asked it, is because we have the ability to change. It just we don't.
Yeah, we totally do. Americans have a big pride problem and shit, you know, in a million ways. I mean, we're a pretty terrible country. We have like a lot of sovereign freedom, but otherwise, like socially, we're pretty fucked up. You know, I mean, it just is the way it is. We'll see. Like, I feel like it's gonna have to take a devastating event for people to generally just change the way they live their lives, and it's probably gonna have to be forced. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing, I don't know if you know anything about this, but some politicians, scientists particularly, Elon Musk, your boy, people are proposing a carbon tax. I don't know if you know anything about carbon tax. The idea is that, you know, if they tax everything that, like, creates carbon dioxide, everything that basically could burn carbon, if you buy it, it has an extra little tax on it. If you do that, it'll basically make people use less, you know, carbon dioxide emitting products, you know, use less fossil fuels, use less. Like if gas was more expensive, we would use less, which would just inherently push us in the right direction to using, you know, alternative fuel, to using maybe stop smoking cigarettes, stuff like that, eating chicken instead of beef, stuff like that. And that would ultimately be what would be the best solution to fixing global warming, because people aren't going to do it of their own accord. But if you push people, if you force them to by putting a tax on shit, then we just would, you know. And some people are about it, some people aren't about it, right? Because we don't want to be forced to do anything, but we have to.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I don't think it would really cause anybody to go out and change. Like, if you tax anything that produces carbon, I feel like all you're really doing is making people pay more money. I don't think people are going to go out of their way to not use products that use carbon. I think you're just going to pay more. Well, it's like with sugar. When people talk about sugar tax, like it's not going to stop people from buying things with sugar. You're just going to force people to pay more money for sugar.
Well, it would be if you're spending. Well, the average person will spend more money to still get what they want, but they're not going to be able to fiscally do it as often. That's the idea.
How much?
Like if suddenly, like if Monster instead of Monster being $2, if it was $4, I would still go out of my way to drink it. But then when I was broke, I would say, okay, well, fuck, I got to drink less. You know, so if you're consuming something, if it's more expensive, you're going to consume less of it.
That's double the price, though, man. That's not a tax. You're literally.
Well, I'm just saying it's.
I mean, but if we're talking like it goes,
penny pinchers,
but,
dude.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like realistically, if there's like a 5% tax on it, it's gonna go from like $2.50 to like $2.75.
Yeah,
and you're still gonna buy Monsters just as regularly. It's not. You're never.
People will buy less.
Yeah. I think that it's not that it should, and then all the money that goes into all the taxes that get collected from a carbon tax would just go into green energy, because Elon Musk he's the man at alternative energy, dude. His fucking roofing system that we talked about before, like. He's
catch it on episode 1 and/or 2. Don't remember which one of Bored at Home podcast.
The guy's a genius, man. He's a genius. And he's a humanitarian at the same time. So when you have those kind of things in a person, those are the people we're gonna look back, and you just gotta hope you're not on the wrong side of history.
Well, we need more people like him. There's just not enough good, active, intelligent, man-loving people. A lot of man lovers nowadays.
Human.
It's a gay joke. It's a gay joke.
Human.
Hey, Black Salami, welcome back. Sorry for being rude last week. He said happy birthday to Nicolas Cage. Is it really Nicolas Cage's birthday?
Was it?
I'm gonna look it up. We're talking about
good old Nick Cage.
Talking about
would have been Superman.
Nicolas Cage is supposed to be Superman?
You ever seen that? You ever seen what his outfit looked like?
It is his birthday today. Happy birthday.
Nicolas Cage's Superman outfit. Go look at it.
It's Nicolas Cage's birthday, man.
Look at Nicolas Cage's Superman.
Nicolas Cage Superman.
It's crazy, man. It's like it seems like a joke, but he was gonna play. That's him.
No way.
Swear to God.
No.
Dog, he almost played Superman.
I'm gonna put it up.
Woo!
I'm gonna put it up on screen for those of you guys watching on YouTube and Twitch. If you're listening to the podcast, you might want to come check it out. Is that real? When was this? That's fucking disgusting. You know who he looks like? Oh my god, dude, that's disgusting. He looks like
he looks like Loki.
Loki, yeah, he looks like Loki from from whatever that movie is.
Dog.
Nobody watched.
Yeah, but look how shredded he looks.
He does look shredded. So what year was this, dude?
I'm not certain. I like how he has like a deep V-neck. It's like a scooped neck.
It's a late 90s. It looks like it could have been worse than Batman and Robin. So I guess it would have happened just post that Batman and Robin movie.
That scooped neck, Superman suit. That's dope as shit.
There he is. That's real photos of him, man, in the fucking suit. That's crazy.
I can't believe you've never known it.
I didn't know about it. And I fucking think Nicolas Cage is like the greatest meme living and walking, and I did not know about the Superman outfit.
Dude, he would have killed it.
You guys listening to the podcast got to go fucking look this up, man. Whether you can watch it on ours or if you can just Google it, it's fucking good.
I wish it would have. Maybe we can get a GoFundMe.
That's awesome.
A GoFundMe. A GoFund. A GoFundMe. Maybe we can get a GoFundMe to get Nicolas Cage play Superman in the new Superman.
Dude,
Man of
he
Steel,
would do that shit.
The Justice League. We got Nick Cage. Just give him a cameo. I don't care. Like a cameo of Nick Cage.
Put him in the Superman movie.
Putting a Superman suit on.
That'd be awesome, man.
That would be pretty dope.
Nicolas Cage, what a fucking meme, dude. Have you ever just watched Nicolas Cage movies? Just
yeah.
You know,
National
the
Treasure
thing is, like, he's not a bad actor.
No.
But he's like, he's just casting the same role every time. He only has one personality.
It's Nick Cage.
You know,
it's
if
Nick
he's
Cage,
like a
baby.
Michael Cera, right? What is that called when you just kind of cast? You have the same character every single movie and TV show. There's a word for it. I don't know if you guys know it.
I don't know.
But yeah, fucking shit. His son, dude, did you see the son? The picture of his son. His son's like in a fucking punk band or something.
What?
He's like,
really?
Yeah, and like, dude, like not a punk band. He's like white face makake and fucking metal.
Oh,
and
black
shit.
metal.
Black metal, dude. Let me see if I can find it. I'll look it up, man.
Yeah, no, I love Nick Cage movies, man.
Look at that.
Dude, that's dope.
That's his son, dude. Look at his face.
Whoa, wait. Do I know that motherfucker?
This guy?
Yeah. Is he in Death Clock?
That's not Death Clock, dude.
Who is that? What band is he in?
He looks like a metal guy.
What band is he in? Find out what band he's in.
I'll look it up, man.
No, you don't like National Treasure?
I love National Treasure.
National Treasure is a fucking national treasure, my friend. That is a good movie.
Eyes of Noctum. So
it sounds like a black metal band.
Yeah, that's a black metal band if I've ever heard it. So Nick Cage's son is a metal motherfucker in a metal band called Eyes of Noctum.
He doesn't look anything like Nick Cage either.
Yeah, that's fucking pretty funny.
He looks like he's probably from Sweden somewhere. He maybe burned a church.
Twitch chat says that he won an Oscar for what movie? Tell me.
Lord of
War.
What
movie do you think?
Lord of War. Maybe.
You know that?
What?
What the fuck was Lord of War? I never watched.
You never watched Lord of War?
No.
Dog,
that is an old Nick Cage
a
movie?
Fucking great movie. All bullshit aside, that is a great movie. It's him and Jared Leto, not Leto, because you always say.
I always say Leto.
It's Jared Leto. Jared Leto is his brother. They're both Russians.
Yeah.
They don't have the accent though. They kind of like speak it because their parents are from Russia.
Yeah.
And he grows up like in the hood, and it starts off with him like selling a gun to somebody, and he really likes selling guns. And the whole movie is just about him being like a arms dealer. But like it goes into this like deep political shit that you'd really dig. You
like
fucking dig it because they go in on George Bush. Like it's like this whole like underlying like they're taking like jabs at George Bush for like arming other people.
Hey, if you won an Oscar for it, or if you think he might have, if it's that good,
it might not be Lord of War, but I could see how Lord of War could maybe get in. I mean, he's in a lot of fucking movies, man. He
won an Oscar. This is what I didn't look this up. We're being told this in Twitch chat. He won an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that's the other one I was gonna think.
Best actor in a leading
role.
role.
You ever watch that one?
No.
He's an alcoholic.
Is it old Nick Cage movies?
No. Lord of War is new.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I figured.
Leaving Las Vegas is a little bit older.
1996, he said. Yeah.
It's about like him drinking himself to death.
Oh, that's the fucking Oscar winner right there.
It's fucking crazy, man. He's just like fucking Don't ever tell me, or don't ever take the bottle away from me. And he's just going through like a grocery store with a grocery cart, fucking arming all of the liquor into the cart. Just fucking gets
sounds like a
hammered.
badass, dude.
It's sad as fuck.
I like Nick Cage in anything he has short hair. I don't like when Nick Cage has long hair. He has the Tom Hanks thing going where he looks fucking weird with long hair. There's
What do you have long hair in?
Some movie. He had long hair in some movie about. I think he could stop time. He was like a.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he was a thief or if he was like just running
he was
from
like
the government.
A witch. He was like a fucking a warlock.
Oh yeah,
a
no,
warlock.
there was that movie, but I'm thinking of a totally different. There was that one, same shit, man. Just he's got long hair. No, there was a movie with I can't remember. I want to say it was Scarlett Johansson. It was like a really attractive lead role, and that's why I watched it. But he was like running away from the FBI because I think he was like he could stop time. Or he could see so fast that he could basically predict your movements. It was basically like stopping time. Like he could slow time.
Like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, he could like slow time and like so he whatever. Anyway, that movie was fucking ridiculous. He was a badass, and Nick Cage is not supposed to be a badass, but he always takes these roles like he's a badass. You got Ghost Rider. You got the fucking one where he's a witch. You got the one where he stops time.
Yeah,
He's like he wants to be an
was...
action star so bad. Dude, but he should not. He should be like, where he's best in? National Treasure. I didn't watch his Oscar winners or whatever, like, Leaving Las Vegas, maybe Lord of War. His good movies. I haven't seen those, but like the ones I have seen, pretty much all the other ones, he's best when he's just like being smart, not when he's being a badass. Like when he's playing an intelligent role, he's good. Not when he's a fucking like shooting people in the middle of the eyes 80 miles away.
Yeah,
2012
that's
trash.
what Lord of War is. Him just being super smart. Like it's
it's
him being kind of like
Next.
Like
that movie's called Next.
Smartest man in the room. Like but he's also kind of like a badass because of his power, because of like the position of power that he has.
Yeah,
dude, I don't want to give away.
Not
too
like
much.
an action star. He
well,
tries to play the fucking running gun action star. He looks.
I want you to
stupid,
watch
man.
it, man.
I'll watch it. I like Nick Cage.
Give it a good watching.
Yeah. Oh, knowing. Yeah. So he does all these movies. So the movie I was talking about is called Next, and the idea was that he can always see what's about to happen next. So he's always like a step ahead. It's kind of like seeing into the future thing. The knowing is same shit, same concept. Like he just plays the same role over and over again. He's a fucking meme, dude. But when he has long hair, it's gross. You ever seen like Tom Hanks with long hair? Gross.
The Leaving
Da
Las
Vinci
Vegas.
Code, gross. Love that movie.
Leaving Las Vegas. I think that's where that meme comes from. The Nick Cage meme.
Which one?
It's like him. It's like the drawing. It's like a drawing of Nick Cage. You ever seen that? The Nick Cage meme?
No. I love Nick Cage memes.
It's like it's a legit meme drawing. Yeah, that. I think that might be from Leaving Las Vegas. That one right there.
Oh yeah, the main one. This one.
Yeah.
No, Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, Vampire's Kiss. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's from. They said Vampire's Kiss.
Look at that. Look at that. Fucking. That is Nick Cage.
Nick Cage is something else, man. He's got that face like he like lives next door and like cuts his bushes every day. A nice manicured lawn.
He's just an everyday man.
He's like an everyday man, but he really wants to be an action star.
You ever watch The Rock? That was an action star one. You ever watch The Rock?
The movie or the guy?
The movie.
Yeah,
The
I've seen The
Rock
Rock,
with
yeah.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Dude, that motherfucker sucks at acting too, but he sounds cool as shit.
Stirred.
It's funny because he's not a good
out
actor.
of his wife. Like, or he
I
like
didn't know that.
Barbra Streisand was doing an interview with him, and he's like, every once in a while you just gotta smack it right. She's like taken aback. She's like, so you're saying that it's okay to hit a woman? And he's like, sometimes women, they just keep saying they just want the last word. So then you just gotta give her a little smack.
Well, he's like 1,000 years old.
I'm like, damn, man. Like, it was like in the late 90s. I'm like, you can't be saying that kind of
savage,
shit.
Man.
Just talking about smacking
Sean
women and
Connery.
stuff. I'm like, damn, dude.
Sean Connery, the savage,
Sean
man.
Connery.
Yeah, he's not even a good actor, dude. Like, everybody says they like his 007 the best. But, like, when you watch it, of course, like, movies from the 60s and 70s, they just don't really age well anyway. But, like...
Not all.
Some do, but, like, most acting, and even just the script writing, the acting, the way that, like, people talk, it just doesn't really age well. So, like, Sean Connery's 007 is real cheesy. And I don't think it's very good. Like, I don't think he's a good actor. But he's he just has a cool voice and he has an interesting presence.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to just respect him when he talks and shit. There's just people like that, and I think that's what made him big. Obviously, like in the '60s and '70s, and now like, he's just that old dude with white hair that everyone respects.
The one movie that I think would stand the test of time, I'm pretty sure it's in the 60s. I think it was like 68, 69. 68. Because it was before we landed on the moon, was Space Odyssey 2001.
Yeah, that movie.
Still holds up. You when you watch it, you're like, oh, this movie was probably made in like, if it wasn't for like some of the clothes that they have, like not all, like because they usually wear spacesuits the whole time.
Yeah.
But the one time that they wear suits in the beginning, that's like the only time you can tell that it was like dated because they had bell bottoms, or not bell bottoms, but they had like that fucking. It wasn't bell bottoms. It was like some weird like blazer suit coat that was like fucking plaid. It just looked dated.
Looks old.
But like their suits, like the fit almost looks like the same kind of style that we have now. So like you're like, it like makes you curious. The acting's fucking really good too.
You know, I still haven't seen that movie. I got to. It's like win.
What?
Like when am I gonna watch it? I really want to see it, and I'm trying to like. I understand the premise, right? I've seen scenes from it.
You just
I haven't watched it. The Shining too. I haven't watched The Shining.
The Shining's a little bit harder to watch because I don't like horror movies, and I hate movies that it's like it's a thriller. It's not really like it's not super horror, but Space Odyssey 2001. You just gotta watch it, man. You would.
I'd like it.
You would like it. I know. I'm not.
I know.
It's not for everybody. I'll say that because there's not that much dialogue. There's a lot of scenes in there that are like every shot is like fucking 45 seconds long. And you think 45 seconds isn't that long of a time, but like
long, yeah.
When you think about like one shot where it doesn't move, it's fucking. It kind of makes you like a little anxious and like uncomfortable. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Yeah, they're just long. I like long shots, man. I think
there's no talking.
It's my favorite shit in movies is like really long scenes, like really long, kind of awkwardly long shit. Like I like it because it makes you think about what's going on. You know, when you hit like popular movies, they're switching scenes every 3 seconds.
Oh yeah.
You've got constant new visualizations and images, and it's just to keep you stimulated. Yeah, but like when you watch a movie that has slower scenes, which I'm not saying this is 100% of the reason why Stanley Kubrick like making movies like that. Because that's just kind of generally his thing. It was like he liked doing that, but it does make you think about what's going on, and it really puts you in the moment.
Oh yeah.
And that's what like good thrillers do. That's what good like whether they're horror movies or just but they're supposed to be psychological movies. They all have those long scenes that just make you kind of immerse yourself in it because you're just waiting. You're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like the way he does his visuals too. It's a lot of practical.
Yeah.
Like, well, he didn't really have the choice. Like, he was living in a time where there was no such thing as like CGI. So when you look at a lot of the effects in the 2001: Space Odyssey, it's crazy how he got half the shit.
Yeah, I mean it always impresses me. Movies from the '60s. Movie from the 60s, even earlier, like when they do practical effects. Have you ever watched Hitchcock movies?
No.
Dude, you gotta watch. I like, it's one of those things that like everybody says, oh, Alfred Hitchcock's the man. You gotta watch Alfred Hitchcock movies. They're still good, even 60 years later. And I just ignored it. But 1 month, like a couple of years ago, I was at home and Maggie was watching, one of my roommates was watching Rear Window, which is a Hitchcock movie, and that shit blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, like this is Alfred Hitchcock. And like the way that he does his movies is a lot like you say Stanley Kubrick kind of does his effects. It's very practical, and it's impressive that it's all done in such kind of like a small space, and it's like so well planned, and like all the angles are perfect where you don't see something, and then like it's always like it works very well together. There's no fucking bullshit. His sets are like that. Like Alfred Hitchcock's fucking sets are impeccable. Like Rear Window, literally the whole fucking movie, aside from maybe 1 or 2 scenes when they're walking outside, all filmed in like one apartment. But like out the window, there's so much shit going on in the apartment complex, because that's the idea. Is like the protagonist, I think he can't walk or something, so he's like constantly looking out his window, and so you learn all the characters just from looking at them, and it's just such a good fucking set, and everyone acts with the set so well. that it feels so fucking real. Even though it's 60 years old, it still feels so good. His fucking movies are awesome, man. You gotta watch them.
I need to watch.
There's a reason.
I need to watch because like whenever I hear about people talking about like some of the best directors, he comes up a lot.
He's always up, man. Ignore me. I'm just doing shit. Yeah, there's a reason. The thing about Alfred Hitchcock is that there's a fucking reason that everyone likes him, man. You know, there's certain actors, certain directors that if you've never seen their work, you just have to like understand that there's a reason why they're so popular. People like Tarantino, people like Kubrick, people like Hitchcock. These people have such individual styles, and like if you haven't seen a movie, like you have to see it. Any of them, you know. I was the same way with Tarantino films because I guess I haven't really seen a lot of Kubrick stuff. I was the same way with Tarantino films. Like after I watched Pulp Fiction, I was like 16 when I watched Pulp Fiction, and it blew my fucking mind. Such a good movie. I didn't watch any other Tarantino movies for years because I just didn't want to, Reservoir Dogs and like Lisa Brown and shit. I just didn't want to ruin it, even though I knew it was gonna be good. I just was so impressed with the way he works. I didn't want to watch another one of his movies. I don't know. It's so weird. It took me a long time. I still haven't seen Lisa Brown or whatever it was. That what the movie's called? It's a movie about some black chick in the 70s, and I still haven't seen it. But like a lot of people consider that just as good as Reservoir Dogs, just as good as Django Unchained or whatever. Sorry for the noise. Just recording for the vlog. Have you ever? Okay, Salami asked, "Do you like Full Metal Jacket?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Oh, me love you a long time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Love Full Metal Jacket. It's a good
Full
movie.
Metal Jacket's dope.
Who directed Full Metal Jacket?
Him. Stanley.
Oh, so he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay.
That's why it has
makes
that.
Sense. That makes sense. I didn't know.
That's why it's so fucking long and both, like, you have the two acts. So the first act all takes place in boot camp, then it takes place in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's weird how he did that. It's cool because, like, it seems like two separate movies.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It's like episodes.
It's real dope. And it's the character development that he has in it.
Excellent.
Fucking Joker.
Mm-hmm.
It's super dope.
I like Full Metal Jacket. There's a lot of good memes from Full Metal Jacket back when memes first started existing. Or like the guy yelling at them and shit. Movies are good, man. Are there any movies you're excited for?
Star Wars. The next Star
everyone's
Wars.
Excited for that,
next Star Wars that's coming out. Well, me specific. You ask me what?
Yeah.
Other than that, like, I'm trying to think.
What about Dunkirk?
Dunkirk, yeah, I'm excited for that.
It's gonna be good.
I mean, Christopher Nolan movies are always good. I don't know what it's gonna be like. It seems like it's gonna be like a really great story, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be about. It seems like it's gonna be about like survivors, like surviving whatever it is, and they're on a boat a lot. So, from what he's shown before, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be like people are like, oh, it's gonna be like new Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be as graphic, but I don't know if it's gonna be as like action packed. I think there's gonna be some scenes. But
I wonder if it's gonna be like one of those movies where at the end everyone's like dead. There's like no happy ending.
I think that's what it's gonna be like.
You know what I'm saying? Because generally war movies always kind of have that happy ending, but obviously with Christopher Nolan, like I think he's more tempted to go in the dark direction. Like when Christopher Nolan did Interstellar originally, well, him and his brother, right? They had intended on having everyone just die at the end, right? That was the whole thing. Was like, this fucking mission is way too big for them. They're gonna die, and that was the original plan. Then when who was it that got put on it? It was Spielberg, I think, that ended up executive producing it, like towards the latter half of the project or whatever, or when they repicked it up, because Nolan's brother or whatever, right, the guy that writes most of the scripts for his movies, when he wrote it originally, it was like a lot more sad. The ending was like Matthew McConaughey doesn't go into the fucking thing, this magic box in the air. He like just dies in the black hole, and that's it. And when they picked it up, I think they didn't have the money for the project. And like when Steven Spielberg ended up producing it, helping produce it, he said, no, like we have to have a different ending because it's too fucking dark. Like it's not going to go well in the theaters. But if you change the ending, it's going to be a fucking smash. So they did, and it worked out great. So I know that like the Nolan brothers, I'm assuming his brother's working on this one as well, Christopher's brother. I can't remember his name. I think it's Ian. I'm assuming that they're still in the mindset of wanting to go a darker direction. That's what they like to do.
Yeah.
So maybe they do it where everyone dies at the end. That would be fucking the best.
I know they wrecked a fucking like $7 million antique plane because
they're all for the scene.
Yeah, they're all about the fucking practical effects. Look, which is why people were kind of upset with them with Interstellar because they used so much CGI, and they're like, oh well, this isn't Christopher Nolan. Man, you know? Yeah, it's like, what do you expect them to do? You think are they gonna go film in space? Yeah. Like,
but they got
that much. Like, you're gonna go build like
that much money off these movies.
I mean, if it was fucking what's his nuts? God, the guy who made James Cameron. If it was James Cameron just be like, look, we're just gonna build a moon station
and film.
And we're gonna film some shit on the moon.
Yeah,
because he's goddamn crazy.
Yeah, but come on, James Cameron fucking used CGI more than anyone.
I know he's all about. I'm not talking about CGI, but like James Cameron's just crazy in that aspect. Where if he wanted to go into space, he would just build a space station.
Yeah,
he's and a crazy motherfucker. Like fucking built like one of the best. I think he at the time or still holds it. Like he went the deepest any man's ever gone.
That's what she said.
For Titanic.
Yeah, you were talking about that. Well, not even for the Titanic. I think he got into like ocean exploration because of the Titanic, because like to film it, like he wanted to like see it, so like they literally went to go see it, and that's what that whole segment of that movie was, where they're underwater. That's really the Titanic, and he really wanted to go see it, and so he got into it, and he still goes on expeditions. He like discovers species and shit. He's all about like funding ocean exploration.
That's crazy.
So I don't know about like whether or not he's gone the deepest or what's that stat line, but yeah, like. He is fucking wild. He does really get into like the shit. Crazy. He studies the shit he makes movies about.
He's insane.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's a pretty good director too, man. Not the best, pretty good.
We come to find out he's actually trying to find out like if there's another planet out there that could hold habit like life, and he's just like, I'm gonna go.
Well, isn't he?
I'm gonna document it and send it all back.
I bet that motherfucker's gonna find Atlantis, dude. You know, and then make a movie about it. You know?
Yeah, he could. I mean, they think Atlantis was real. When we're talking about that flood that destroyed everything, they think Atlantis was part of that.
Well, it makes sense, right? So. It makes sense because you got to think about it. What they say, like 90% of the ocean's unexplored, 70, 80, 90%, something like that. Crazy amount of it's just totally like we have no fucking pictures of it. There's nothing, like no fucking knowledge of like most of the water on the planet.
Yeah.
You have no fucking clue, dude. There could be entire civilizations that exist under you wouldn't even know.
There's not.
It's not probable. But we have no clue. We know less about like the bottom of our oceans than like a lot of the space around our Earth.
Yeah. It's
crazy. It's there. Why don't we go there?
Because it's a little bit harder to go down there.
The pressure, I get it.
Yeah, the pressure. It's like you have to, especially for like humans can't really go down there. You got to build like a ship that goes down there. And
you have to be able to sustain it. It's like having 8 trillion pounds of water on your head. Like you have to be able 8 trillion pounds of anything on your head. You have to be able to sustain that. So if you go underwater, like you have to have 8 trillion
pounds of feathers, it's gonna hurt just as much.
Yeah, but anyway, the thing about water, the thing about Atlantis maybe being real, is that if we are working under the assumption that civilization has been wiped out multiple times by asteroids, floods, whatever, it's realistic because when we create cities, when we create civilizations, flourishing economies, it's around water. If you look at like all the major cities, more or less, like in America and in the world, it's on the fucking ocean or it's on a lake because like we need water for everything. We need water to drink, to catch fish.
Well, you can't drink
half of the world. Well, you filter it, you boil it, filter it, whatever they do. They treat it. That's where do you think we get most of our water? Everybody doesn't get the water from one river in the middle of the U.S. You boil, you filter, whatever. That's why they have water treatment stations. It's just you can just do that.
California's in a drought.
That's true. It's fucking weird because they have so much coastline. You think they would be able to? Anyway, well, their land is drought.
Just
it's not
suck that salt right out of that water, baby.
Their land's drought, and it's like expensive to like soak up all the water from the ocean to put in the pipes and shit. Anyway, the point is like we build cities on the water. Back before we had all this technology, 1,000 years ago, is because of fucking fish. That's where like a lot of our food came from, especially in America. So we don't have a lot of megafauna, like you said. We don't have a lot of huge animals to eat here. So we build on the water, and so if there was any flooding that happened, all the major cities are the first to go. New York's a fucking island. That's the biggest city in America.
New York, LA, London,
Gone.
Madrid,
Japan, gone.
Madrid, Japan.
Madrid, gone.
Hong Kong,
gone. They're all. I mean,
Seattle.
Basically every major city. You know, like there are major cities obviously in every state.
Yeah, Miami.
No, Michigan's not safe. Are you from Detroit?
No,
over.
yeah,
It's
no,
over.
no. But like the way it is, for some reason, even with the flooding, we would be safe. I don't know how it works, but we would be safe. We fucking just shut that canal. We shut the Erie Canal off.
Shut it off.
Put that fucking wall up, man. It's easy. It's
The
not.
Great Wall.
It's like what is it? Like maybe 25 or more than 25 feet.
100 feet, maybe.
It's probably like 100. Yeah. I mean, it only has to get like a freighter ship through.
Yeah.
You shut that bitch down. Say, hey, we're just making it a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
We ain't flooding.
I mean, we could
good,
prevent
dog.
a lot. I
We're
mean, there's
good.
plenty of regions that would prevent a lot of flooding with like the systems they have. But like Miami's gone. New York's fucking gone. New York has great water filtration systems to like push water out of the city.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would probably already be underwater from great rains, like when the hurricane happened and shit.
Just live on top
Got
of the
so many
tower.
tunnels and pipes, like the water gets pushed back out in the
Still
ocean.
live top floor. You good?
But you know,
They already saw
so
what
it's,
happens.
It's not ridiculous to say that Atlantis might exist because
I think it does.
if we were advanced 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, and it was along the fucking coastline and there's a huge flood, it's over. It's gone. It's underwater. And like really,
You're
like
done, son.
anything below 100 feet of water now, we don't even know about it. So like,
yeah.
literally, like you could look in the fucking Great Lakes. There might be old monuments and shit down there. We
Ships.
haven't
You got
explored
the
all.
the Larry Fitzgerald. You got number 11 from fucking the fucking Arizona Cardinals. Edmund Fitzgerald
Yeah,
ship.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You ever think about how big Lake Superior is? It's so big
Oh, it's fucking
that a
humongous.
fucking ship sunk and they couldn't find it.
It's fucking deep. That's the thing.
I
about
mean, they
Superior.
found it eventually,
Yeah.
but like for the longest time, they couldn't fucking find a big ass freighter ship in a lake
Yeah.
because it's so goddamn deep. That's a big
deep.
fucking lake. It's one of the biggest lakes. I think it's like
It's the biggest lake in
third.
America.
I think it's I think it's third in the biggest freshwater lake.
In the world?
Mm.
I'd believe it.
I think there's like 2 in Africa. I believe that.
They got big lakes. They
I mean,
do.
they're continents. I didn't really realize how big Africa is.
It's fucking huge.
There's a little bit of distortion when you look at it on a globe. Some guy was explaining it like Russia's not really as big as we all think because they expand Russia to make it look bigger because the way when you look at a planet, it like how it's curved makes it look bigger than what it actually is, and they like scale it to size
Yeah.
of what it actually is, like the distance in Russia.
Yeah.
It's really not as big as we all thought.
Yeah.
Africa though is just it's still
Africa's
insane.
big.
It's still insane. That,
What's-
like you can fit the United States inside of just the
Just
top
the
northern,
desert.
yeah, just the top
The
northern.
thing
half.
about Africa that always blows my mind is how different the north and south is.
Mm.
Regionally, like I mean, holy shit, the people look insanely. It's like different parts of the world.
I mean,
Because well, yeah, but like if you look pretty much anywhere else, any other country, continent, I guess, all the people generally look the same color skin generally, right? Europe gets a little bit clouded in the middle, I guess. But in Africa, dude, you've got like this desert. The Sahara Desert is like the northern portion of Africa, more or less, except for the very tip that's pretty green. This is what she said. Also, it's just fucking desert, dude. Bigger than the United States. Okay, it's huge desert, and everybody there is fucking wearing turbans. It's fucking 1,000 degrees. It sucks.
Yep.
Right. You go south. The same amount of size of space is just the Amazon, the fucking Congo. Just fucking lush trees and rainforests. And Amazon, South America. I meant Congo is what I meant. It's just green.
That's just one of the major forests.
Yeah. Well, the Congo forest, but I'm saying like that whole everything below the desert is just fucking green forest. You know?
No, actually, no, like yes and no. So the Congo is like middle. I believe it's middle in Africa, and then there's desert. So you got the Kalahari and you got the Sierra.
So yeah, desert's the big desert.
So you got those two, and the most southern part is they call it like the Google forest because they didn't realize the vastness of the forest until like Google came out or something, and you were able to have satellite pictures of like how big it was so people could see. So
Yeah.
they're like there's an actual name for it, but a lot of people call it Google forest. And so you have that, which is like its own rainforest, and that one it's not quite as big as the Congo, but it's fucking massive. Like it's massive in size. It's crazy, man. So like you literally have two full fucking sized forests, two full deserts, and then you have like multiple big like full civilizations on the outskirts. You got Cape Town in the south, and then you have fucking what? You have Egypt. You have Israel. You have fucking what? It's not in Africa.
I'm trying to think where Israel is. I mean,
it's on the west side.
Yeah.
Jerusalem's right in there. What? You can look at the map if you want to.
I'm gonna look at the map. I don't know geography.
Geography, Shawnee. Should be right on the left. That little right. Yep, right there.
No. Israel's here.
Where is it?
It's here, man.
Where?
This right here. This is Israel.
Oh, that's Israel? Might be. I don't know why I got that.
I don't know if that's technically Africa. I think that's technically Europe. But it's in this portion. It's on the east side. East side. No.
Oh.
So.
I thought it was Africa. I thought it was considered.
No, that's why I was like, what the fuck? Because that's the Middle East. That's what they're fighting over. You know.
I don't know why I got confused.
It's okay.
It shows my fucking 5th grade.
I felt stupid. I felt dumb. I was like, wait.
I seem so sure.
And you were like, bro, Israel's in Africa. I was like, what?
Yeah. But hey, man, it's close enough. It's pretty fucking close.
Enough.
It's pretty goddamn close.
Anyway, Damascus? Damascus is cool. I'd love to go to Damascus.
Yeah, that's like the coolest word. Freedom of, like the Democratic Republic of whatever. Like freedom fighters of, it's just like fucking just gangs of people slaughtering each other.
Yeah, fun times.
Yeah. That's crazy as fuck.
Salami asks, do you know what sucks in Aliens Monsters Destroying the Earth movie? People kill their boss or destroy their base and they all just die or shut off.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It's talking about in movies.
Okay.
I mean, movies are not the best representation of how we would probably deal with monsters or aliens taking shit over.
Who's to say that they're all aggressive? We always depict anything coming to Earth to take over. Granted,
it's scary.
Stephen Hawking says that like most likely, if there was an outside species that had interstellar travel, the only reason they'd be traveling was to find more resources like us. He said
definitely take us
over, they would more than likely they would be more intelligent than us.
Yeah.
They take us over. And they'd take whatever
unless they're like
unless they couldn't get any resources from us.
Yeah.
Like they would need the resources that. I mean, maybe they need like something crazy like plutonium.
Yeah.
We have a very minute amount of that.
Yeah.
And like, well, we'll make friends with these people.
I envision it like No Man's Sky. I play that game No Man's Sky, and there's infinite planets there, and that whole game is about managing your your resources. And so like if I know I need gold, for instance, to build something, right? I fucking hit a new planet and I land there, and if that fucking planet didn't have gold, I'm not killing shit. I'm just leaving. Out.
Dipping out.
The fucking like animals on the planet are like, whoa, look at that alien, and I'm just like, oh, there's no gold here, I'm out. That's more than likely what would happen if a civilization was so advanced that they could just travel to planets.
But they might get here. They might know, but maybe we have all of their resources.
We don't have what they need, and they would just leave. Why the fuck would they stay? We'd be like, please stay and teach us. They're like, nah, you get fucking gold.
They fucking leave. They leave like the slow
kid.
This
planet sucks.
They fucking drop off the slow kid. They're like, douche. Stay with them. Teach them. Even the slow kid would be smarter than us.
Yeah.
He's just
like a god.
I don't know. He'd be like, yes, my people. He's just fucking running the world. He has a big ass.
I'd be out, dude. But yeah, that's a good point. But again, I think that just comes from our inherent fear of things that we don't know about, like technology, aliens. Like we want to all think we all feel like if aliens showed up, they'd take us over, because they're obviously more advanced than us if they got here. But unless
they weren't.
Unless they weren't.
Maybe they just hit that fucking interstellar. They hit the interstellar wormhole on accident. They end up on some crazy ass place and like, whoops.
Matthew McConaughey of Xenon verse.
Well, we're here. He's just in his fucking Lincoln. There's one thing about my Lincoln. I had one when I was a boy. Dude, I don't know what the
poor
fuck.
Matthew McConaughey, man.
Dog, he keeps doing them though. He's making money. You don't give no fucks.
He's making bread.
He's like, you might not have us sit in the back of your car. And then it shows him sitting in the back laughing by himself. Like,
why are you back there, bro?
I'm like, why are you sitting in the back? And then it shows like a slow mo of him like putting his foot up like this. Like,
yeah, he's fucking fancy, dude. Matthew McConaughey's the pinnacle, man. I remember when he was really buff, because obviously his body's fucked up now because he took all those roles where he like had to like basically morph his body.
It was that one role for the Texas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
He said no. He went on record. He said that movie specifically, he had to take things like he stopped eating and then kept working on or something like that.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, okay.
I knew it was in Texas somewhere, and he had to take like things to get him that small and that his body.
He was just so grossly skinny in that movie.
He was so old that he couldn't come back from it.
I mean, I told you this before because we talked about that. That movie was fucking good, but I just feel bad for him. Well, I don't know. I guess he's probably happy because he's probably rich, so I shouldn't feel bad for him. But like that dude, remember, he was like the pinnacle of physical fitness. That dude was fucking shredded, and like he had like one of his arms is shorter than the other. I remember that was a big thing that people.
Really?
Yeah, like significant, like his arm was like this much shorter.
The fuck happened?
Like a full hand shorter. It's just the way, I don't know. He just had a fucked up. That's just his thing. But he was so buff, no one would talk shit. And like again, you know, what I guess like the first memes I've ever seen when I got on Tumblr fucking 7 years ago was like Matthew McConaughey with a short arm.
It's like
and people making fun of him, but like he would beat your ass if you say, you know.
That's true. I mean, I feel like he could just get on the sauce and he could still get that big. I don't know what the extent is because he says he can't get back there, but like I'm like, how many steroids?
For him to say he can't, dude, when he was like all about physical fitness, means it's probably for real.
But is that because he's absolutely adamant and against taking steroids? Because like I feel like if you just took steroids, you'd probably get that. Like I don't think there's any question you'd probably get that size. Or bigger if you wanted to.
He might have damaged his like immune system though too. You know?
Not immune system. I think he'd probably fucked with his testosterone levels.
Yeah,
that's usually, especially when you're that old.
Yeah,
like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's on the sauce. He talks about it. He's on TRT.
Yeah,
testosterone replacement therapy. Essentially, what it is it's testosterone replacement. So like when guys get old enough, like old, your fucking balls stop working as much. You don't produce as much testosterone, which leads to muscle loss, and then obviously you don't look as good, and like it's things that like burn fat, keep you youthful. And Joe Rogan's like, well, fuck that. He's like, I'd rather just take this thing that's gonna let me live a better life and a healthier life. Like, a lot of steroids get a bad rap, but it's like it's a medical achievement that we have that allows us to live a more youthful life, well into our later ages. And he's like, fuck this. He's like, I'd rather be lifting like Ric Flair the other day, deadlifted 400 pounds. He's on the sauce. Dude, he's on the sauce at 70. You see Sylvester Stallone cut his shit vascular like a goddamn roadmap, and dude, like they're on the sauce. That's proof that the shit doesn't kill you if you do it right. As long as you don't abuse it and you take the right amounts, like these guys are living, like they're living
just enhancing. It's fucking science, man. Everyone's so quick to like just discredit it. I understand why like you wouldn't want it in sports because it does significantly change.
What sport though? What sport are we talking about? Because like
no sport allows testosterone.
No. But
like
what I'm saying is why?
Steroids.
Why not? Like. Do you really want to watch baseball? It's boring as fuck. I'd rather see some guy get on the sauce and just hit 100 home runs in a year. I don't care. I'm being entertained. When you talk about fighting, it's different.
It's about keeping it fair, because not everybody wants to do it.
Well, then don't play in the league then.
Nah, you got to keep it pure. I'm all about keeping sports pure.
How about we do this? We have the steroid league. We have the non-steroid league. And
no, because dude, then what would happen? Nobody would watch the regular league.
Exactly, because it's boring. No one wants to watch bullshit. People want to watch the guys juiced up.
That's the fucking future, man.
Listen, in fighting, it's different. Boxing, it's different or MMA or any kind of that. Because if you take steroids, you can take more damage and you can do more damage. So like you're like literally hurting people. You can end somebody's career. Yeah. Too many shots to the head, and so that I understand why the steroids probably aren't a good idea, but everything else, as long as there's not a whole lot of physical contact, like football, I'd say no because you hit
fuck people up.
Yeah, you fuck people up.
People already are messed up.
Basketball, let them juice. Let them juice as much as they want to. It's not gonna get. I mean, you'll probably have more stamina.
Dude, it does. Come on, it definitely changes the. It changes.
If golfing, oh shit. driving a ball 900
well,
yards.
The thing is, dude, it's not about like that. You're saying from an entertainment. I know you're just playing devil's advocate. I don't think you really care or have like a real opinion.
No, that's a real opinion.
Man,
I want them to juice, man.
I know what you're saying is it would be more entertaining to see like these fucking monsters of men.
I prefer it.
But that's I mean, even though it's kind of what we already watch when we watch professional athletes, we all have like but bellies and drink beer and like watch these athletes. But like. I think that there's just something pure in sports about pure competition, like man versus man. It's the same reason you like fighting. It's the same, like it's just like it's man versus man. There's a lot of money in it nowadays.
To an extent, though.
But there's a certain amount of respect that people just have for the sport. Like you want to really be good at the sport and do the best you physically can. It's just old fashioned.
Nah, man. Because dude. Football. Okay, I love football. Football is one of my favorite sports. Probably my second favorite sport to fighting. And you look at it, guys are already juicing, man. If you think for a second that guys can play 16 games, one game every week, and they're goddamn gladiators just smashing every fucking play, just hitting every play ends with a tackle. I don't think people realize that. And you're talking about guys doing that for a full fucking season. They're on something. They're on painkillers. They're on steroids. They're doing some shit to get their body through that, and they're not normal men. Like, genetics aside, like, yeah, you're a genetic freak, but there's probably something more there. Yeah, you got Tom Brady. He might not be. He doesn't look like it. He could be. He totally could be. That's why.
Eli Manning, have you seen him? He doesn't even have. He's fucking not even in shape.
But like. So you already have a lot of that in football. I'm just saying, just like let the gates flow, man. Just say, hey, we're just gonna openly let everybody do it, and we're not gonna regulate anything at all. Just fucking take them.
Fucks you. They're like illegal, dude. Like that shit fucks you up.
It's illegal and do it in sports. You can take it.
Because the thing is, like, whatever you allow, people are gonna take more.
Yeah,
man. Whatever you allow, something else is gonna come up. So, like, if you allow fucking testosterone and, like, you allow extra fucking steroids and shit, well, any steroids, you're just opening the gate for the next step. What? Then everybody's going to be coked up. Okay, and then when they allow that, it's going to be fucking... Everybody has an extra penis, and that's okay.
You're getting obnoxious.
No, it's a gateway, dude. It's like you can't. You have to keep the purity of the sport. You play by the sports.
Some sports,
rules.
yes. Some sports.
All of them. Just
not all of them. Not all of them.
When you give someone an inch, man, they take a mile. Because once it becomes regular, once everybody that's playing fucking football is just. I mean, most of them are jacked anyway, but they're all fucking just jacked up on testosterone and steroids.
Yeah.
And that's just normal. It's not an extra thing. It's just normal, and then it's going to normalize, and then they're going to do something. Well, that won't be fun to watch anymore. And then they're going to do something, and then everyone's just dying on the fucking field.
Let me put it this way: look at bicycling. Nobody gave a fuck when Lance Armstrong wasn't doing it. Like he's not doing it right now. Nobody gives a fuck about it. But when he was juiced up and he was winning all those Tour de France's.
People were watching it.
People watched it. It's entertaining. That's why I'm saying just let it happen.
It's not about entertainment, man. It's about the sport.
It is. That's all it is. That's literally all sports. If nobody was watching, will those guys still do it? Probably, but like, let's be real. A lot of why they're doing it is for that notoriety of being famous, for being an athlete. Like, yeah, sure. guys would still play football and play baseball, but it's like a rec league. They're not going to care as much if they win or lose because there's not a lot riding on it. The reason why is because it's entertainment. They get paid for entertaining us. If there's no us, if we're not entertained, they don't get paid. They don't get to play. So let them juice. That's what I think that people want to see. I want to see 150 points scored in a basketball game. I want to see 75 points scored in a football game.
You ever watched fucking Russell Westbrook play basketball ever? Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's a fucking monster.
Okay,
I still think Westbrook's the best point guard. I don't give a fuck about Steve Curry.
Steph. Who the fuck is Steve Curry?
I remember watching Steph Curry in college, and I was like, okay, yeah, he's pretty good, but he's not.
Good.
Come on, man.
He jacks up those threes.
He jacks them up. He's tiny. He's talks shit. He's fucking.
I like that. No, I don't think he flicks off people. He throws them out good though.
Yeah, whatever. He's a shit. Well, he's religious, so he doesn't.
Fucking throws it.
He's a competitor, but he ain't that good. You watch fucking Westbrook. I mean, just a clinic.
He is. But that's because he's the only one on the team.
That's true. He has to carry him.
Serge Ibaka and who else?
I mean, even when they had Durant, though, anyway.
Yeah, but when Durant actually played, like this season, he's about to break the record for most triple doubles in NBA history.
Durant?
No,
Westbrook, yeah.
Like, period. Not just in a season. I think he's going to hold the record soon.
Yeah, he's only a few
for
behind.
all time. Yeah. I'm not sure what the record is, but I know this season I think he's already broken the record.
He's right now. I think he's second or third.
I think there's only like 30.
He's the third person. I remember a stat. It was like he's the third person to hit X amount of triple doubles in a season.
Yeah.
Behind like.
Look it up. Most triple doubles, because I think he surpassed Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant for triple doubles.
Really?
Career.
Already?
Yeah, for career. I don't think they had that many.
He pretty much averages a triple double. No, he's not up there at all.
I said surpassed.
10 players with the most triple doubles, and we got Michael Jordan.
Well, when was this?
When all time? This was. This was in. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was in 14.
Yeah, so you have to look at it now because I think he's up at 30.
Yeah, he wouldn't be at this list. Well, number 1 is Oscar Robertson with 181.
Okay, so but just go look at now that you know, just you can just Google Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah, he's in 6th place for the most of all time with 53. I imagine he'll pass Larry Bird.
Well, he passed Jordan and Kobe?
Yeah, he passed LeBron. No. Yeah, he passed Jordan and Kobe. Surprisingly, the top 5, so there's only 5 people ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar Robinson, old as fuck. I don't think he'd have to do 130 more. I don't know how many years he has. Magic Johnson, Jason Kidd, Wilt Chamberlain, and Larry Bird. He's going to pass Larry Bird. He's only going to get 6 more. He'll probably
get
that.
What about Jason Kidd, man?
Jason Kidd did work. I always tell people, when Jason Kidd was hot, he was like the best. He was insanely good in the 90s, dude.
Awful coach.
Yeah, poor guy. LeBron James is right below him, though. He's got some stiff competition from LeBron. LeBron's basically playing the same right now. But LeBron doesn't have as many years left as Westbrook has. Provided Westbrook doesn't get injured. I mean, he's going to pass Larry Bird. He might pass Wilt Chamberlain, but I don't think he's going to get past Jason Kidd and Magic Johnson.
I feel like LeBron probably got all his triple doubles. I feel like he got all his triple doubles those first couple seasons with the Cavs when he was just passing the ball.
Are you kidding me, dude? You've seen his fucking stat line the last 2 years?
I'm not saying it's I'm not saying it's not
he
good.
Yeah, triple double like 4 games in the finals.
Hmm.
Jesus Christ, dude! He's 2 years in a row. He averaged. Triple double.
Who did he like? Yeah, last year. No, not last year. The year before that when they lost in the finals. What? All I had was Dellavedova.
Jesus Christ!
Fucking Dellavedova is like his second.
He's a piece of shit. So bad. I remember watching that. Like last year's series, I didn't watch when the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead and made a meme of themselves. The year before that, I was just like, holy fuck. I remember watching that at the bar, game 4 or something, doesn't matter, of that series. And the way they played that season, at least in the playoffs at the very least, was they just gave the ball to LeBron. He played point guard, and they just gave it to him and just let him do whatever. And he averaged, I think he averaged like 30 points a game.
When they won or when they lost?
When they lost.
Yeah.
Last season they won, but when they lost... 2 seasons ago,
they just gave him the ball.
LeBron fucking they were down 0-2 or whatever, and LeBron just fucking said, "Give me the ball."
Yeah, won the game,
and he just won like 3 games in a row. Like he
didn't win 3.
2 in a row. Then they lost. They went to game 7. And the point is, yeah, I think so.
I don't think
last
so.
season. No, it was last season because
last season. No, he only won 2 games.
Anyway, he averaged just shy of a triple double. Averaged, and like it was a 6-game series in the playoffs. He averaged he was 30 something points a game, 35 I think, maybe 38. So it's not 40. And then he averaged he had 15 rebounds a game, 20 rebounds a game or something. And just shy of 10 assists. He was just and he had 5 steals a game. He was just playing a monster.
The only problem is that him doing that, he fucking wore himself out after 2 games because he was literally just a one-man wrecking crew.
Yeah.
I remember him driving the lane hard as fuck in game 3. The game that he won, that he did by himself. And you're like, holy shit, he'll never you can't do that for 4 straight games. Yeah. If he could do that for 4 straight games, that is insane. And he wasn't. He couldn't. You saw him fall off, and he tried. He didn't give up, but
couldn't do it, man.
His body just started giving out because he was just fucking pushing it.
He's an insane. I mean, he's the best player we've ever seen. So I don't care. I'm talking about we've ever seen. There's a lot of great players before him. Again, we've had this conversation. Sports have changed over the years. Basketball is a different game now than it was 20 years ago. But I mean, alive playing now, you can make arguments for all types of players. They're putting up great stats. You could put up fucking numbers for Kobe, and it's insane. He's won a lot. He's scored a lot. But like when you look at just the dominance that LeBron James has on the court, it's just it's insane to watch. It's fucking ridiculous.
There's only one player. Well, I think one player better that has better stats, better dominance, more championships. Right now.
Who?
Mr. Tom Brady.
Okay, yeah, different sport. Yeah,
Different
Tom
sport.
Brady again.
Different sport, but Tom Brady's like, regardless of all of the cheating allegations, somehow he always wins. It doesn't matter.
Tom Brady
doesn't matter what they do.
Not a fucking incredible physical athlete. You know,
not
a quarterback.
Yeah, but
smart
for his position. I'm not saying the most athletic. I think you give that to LeBron all day long. But for position, Tom Brady is going to go down as the best ever. The guy's
probably,
they've only this is a crazy statistic. They win 70% of the games every season that he's under, and they've never had unless it happened last season, they've never lost more than 2 games in a row with Tom Brady.
Which is crazy because that's fucking insane, and it's also crazy because it's not like we call the Patriots a dynasty. Yeah. I think it's safe to say they're a dynasty. The last 10 years, I mean, they're always at the top. Always. Whether they win the championship or not, they're always up there. Always. They're always fucking scoring stupid amounts of points. What's crazy is that they're constantly changing their fucking team.
Yeah,
it's not like it's not like half the team's been there for 20 years. Like they all every couple of years, it's like rookies.
Yeah,
and they still just like we win every game, and that's because their fucking quarterback and their coaches are fucking just insanely good.
Bill Belichick.
Tom Brady's insane.
Bill Belichick, best coach of all time.
Belichick's gone this year, isn't he?
No,
I thought he retired.
No. He's gonna keep coaching.
Someone else on that.
He's gonna keep coaching. He's
not that old. I feel like
he's like in his 60s, but I don't think he's done. I think he might retire when Tom Brady retires because like realistically he has nothing more to prove. He's the best. Tom Brady's the best. And like
but do you
it
think...
it sucks saying that because like at being a Lions fan and you gotta like we get our asses whooped by them every time we play them, but like let's be real. Like
do you think Bill Belichick, I think it's safe to say that Tom Brady is more responsible for the success of the Patriots. Come on, he's insanely good.
I don't know.
Consistently, with the staff constantly changing, the players constantly changing. I think I'm okay with saying like, Tom Brady did more for the actual games because he's really like doing work.
It's a bold statement to make,
but my question is, do you think that if Bill Belichick wasn't around, do you think that the Patriots would have done nearly as well?
Mm-mm.
And if Tom Brady wasn't around, but Belichick was still around, and let's say they could have had another pretty good quarterback, but realistically, they got Tom Brady for pretty cheap, right? They might have just got
first round draft pick. Or no, sorry, not first round, 7th round draft pick. He was the last quarterback taken in the draft.
Do you think that like if Tom Brady wasn't around, they had another 7th round draft pick playing quarterback?
This is what everybody forgets.
Do you think that Belichick would have still been able to win?
Yes, this is why. I'll lay it out. So, I'm going to start before Tom Brady's even drafted. You got the Patriots. Bill Belichick came from Cleveland after Cleveland was sold to Baltimore to become the Ravens.
Okay.
And so Bill Belichick goes to, I believe he goes to New England right after that. And they have Drew Bledsoe on their team.
Drew Bledsoe.
I think they go to the playoffs with Drew Bledsoe and they lose or something. Then he gets hurt the next season. So he gets hurt the next season really early on. And that season is the season that they draft Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady goes into the draft from Michigan.
Did he win a championship with Michigan?
Orange Bowl, I think. Okay. Maybe. I think he came back and won the Orange Bowl. So, and that, like, he only played 1 or 2 seasons. He got redshirted one season. He got sat out for 1 season, and then he, like, played for 1 season. It was wacky the way his Michigan career was. And so he comes into the draft. He's considered like one of the worst players in the draft. Like he runs the worst combine stats out of anybody, really. And
he's not a great athlete.
Not a great athlete. And he gets drafted 7th over all of these fuckers. Yeah. And I remember he was real heartbroken because he's from San Francisco and he really wanted to be drafted by the 49ers because the 49ers needed a QB. I think Jeff Garcia was the QB at the time. And or maybe it was before Jeff Garcia, right before Jeff Garcia, or maybe after. I can't remember. And so the story is he took a walk. He was like crying. He like walked around for a while. And then he got back to his house, and the draft was still going on. The third day, 7th round, and he gets drafted. Mm-hmm. And I remember he said he went up to the owner, Robert Kraft, and he's like, "I'm going to be the best QB you've ever had in your life." And this is Drew Bledsoe is still playing,
still
like
good,
still
too,
fucking good, taking him to the playoffs and shit. So Drew Bledsoe gets hurt. Tom Brady comes in, goes to the playoffs. Now this is the thing with Bill Belichick. This is where Bill Belichick comes in. He was able to do that with Drew Bledsoe. Tom Brady comes in. Tom Brady's Tom Brady. So Tom Brady is going to do what Tom Brady does, and he goes the rookie year. I think takes them to the playoffs or Super Bowl, maybe.
Yeah, he went to the Super Bowl his first year, dude.
And won.
Pretty sure.
I think they beat the Carolina Panthers or the St. Louis Rams. I can't remember. So Tom Brady does that, and there was never any there was never any competition with Tom Brady. And then he gets hurt. And Jimmy Garoppolo comes in and wins. So you have you have these no-name backup quarterbacks that come in and start winning. You have who's his name? Damn, he was traded. Matt Castle. Matt Castle comes in for a season that Tom Brady was hurt and fucking wins 10 games or something stupid like that. They win 10 games with a dude that's been Tom Brady's backup the whole time. After all of these backups, even this year, Tom Brady was out four games for a suspension for Deflategate, and comes back, and the team won while he was out, comes back, and then keeps winning. So, like, it's a mixture of both, man. Like, because they win without him, they win with him. It's insane to think about the Patriots not being successful either way.
Yeah.
Like, Bill Belichick would have done it. I think
Yeah.
Tom Brady benefits more from Bill Belichick than Bill Belichick benefits from Tom Brady. I think Bill Belichick, you can look at his teams, like you alluded to before, he does it with nobodies. I don't think defensively, Tom Brady has no responsibility for that. He can keep the offense on the field long enough for the defense to recover, so that helps them, but that's coaching.
Yeah.
That's Bill Belichick's, that's him saying next man up.
Yeah.
No matter what your position is, if you're a fucking practice squad, if you get called, you do your job. If you do your job, you get to play.
Yeah.
And that mentality. It's all mentality, man. So they get the fucking...
Yeah, they probably would have done fine with by themselves anyway. Well, yeah, no, you're right. I think you spot on. Tom Brady might have not been able to do anything, but Bill Belichick probably would have been okay.
It's so hard. I'm
looking at his stats.
What are his stats?
Tom
Okay.
Okay, so just to clarify what you said, his first season, technically, he did not do anything. He had one game. He went 0 for 3 and threw a fucking interception his first season.
Okay.
So they put Bledsoe back in. But then Bledsoe got injured. Second season, 2001, he went to the Super Bowl and won.
Okay, second season. What happened the first season, though? I don't think Drew Bledsoe got hurt. Did he get hurt?
Okay, 2000 season. Hold on. Brady was selected with pick 199, a compensatory pick in the 6th round of the draft. Brady started the season as the 4th string quarterback behind Bledsoe and 2 other backups. By the season's end, he was number 2 directly behind Bledsoe. So even though he started 4th on the chart, he did move up to being the backup.
Yep.
During his rookie season, he is 1 of 3 for passing with 6 yards.
Which is one drive. That's like a drive.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
guess that's probably like a drive where they won the game and they just took Bledsoe out for some reason. Because he probably got they were resting him, or they just want to get Brady some time. Because that's not like you go over. That's like a rookie.
But then his second season, he went 11-3 as quarterback, and they won the championship. They went 3-0 in the playoffs.
Bledsoe played the first 3 games,
Yeah.
and then Bledsoe lost his job after that. Like he got traded to fucking Buffalo.
So fucking well. But so let's look at these fucking stats that he has. So in the Super Bowl, he has the most touchdown passes of any quarterback ever.
Insane.
He has the most yards gained.
Insane.
The most passes completed.
Insane.
The most passes attempted.
That's
most passes completed in the first half of a single Super Bowl, which is 20. Most passes completed in a single Super Bowl. Most Super Bowl appearances, he's tied with Mike Lotish, who I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. For quarterbacks, I know he's number 1.
Most career home wins in the NFL playoffs. Look at his playoff stats are insane.
It's because he's in there
He's
every
played
year.
more playoff games than anybody else in the NFL ever. Most games started as quarterback. Most games won as starting quarterback. He's 22-9 in playoffs. Most consecutive wins postseason by a quarterback. Most consecutive wins to start a career postseason by a quarterback.
Dude, you can go. Yeah, go on. And the crazy thing is,
most 300 plus passing yard games in the playoffs.
It's when you look at the division, the AFC East.
Sorry.
You got New England, obviously top dog, and then who else you got? You got fucking Buffalo, New York, and Miami. All three of those teams always suck. The only time that New York was good was a little bit with Chad Pennington and Curtis. What is his name? I forgot his name.
I don't know.
No, it's not Curtis football. Joseph. That's fucking goalie.
It's a stupid name.
That's a goalie. I forgot what his name is. Running back. And then you got Miami. Miami hasn't been good since Dan Marino. They had Ricky Williams for a little bit, and they're all right. And then you got Buffalo. Buffalo, they had Drew Bledsoe for a little bit, but all those teams always suck, man.
Yeah.
Like, New York had Mark Sanchez for a little bit, and they went to the AFC play. They went to the AFC Championship, and then Mark Sanchez got broken. Something happened to him. So all of those years, it's kind of like all of it's like this fucking mixing pot of things that have equated to New England's success when you look at it. Like, if that division is more, if it's more competitive, then do the Patriots have as many stats like that? Do they go to the playoffs as much? If it's more like the AFC North, where you got the Ravens and the Steelers, like that division's crazy as fuck because it's always the Steelers and Ravens that are going for it. I mean, very rarely do the Bengals actually produce, but like you got the Bengals in there too. So you got three teams that are always fighting for a playoff spot. In AFC East, it's kind of like, well, New England's gonna win this year. Who else are those?
Yeah,
are these three teams gonna make the
They're
the
crazy
wild card?
dominant, man. They're always there. Always. There's not a lot of sports where they're always there.
Yeah.
For that long. Yeah. Red Wings, yeah, but even
we
Red
don't
Wings
even win. We don't fucking win.
The Lakers were like that. The Lakers and Celtics both
San Antonio.
in the NBA. San Antonio is like that.
Always winning.
Always there. Yeah. There's not a lot. There's very few franchises.
You know more about basketball than I do. How many years has San Antonio made it to? Because Greg Popovich is like the Bill Belichick of basketball.
Yeah, there's a lot of Bill Belichick's of basketball. There's like a lot of incredible coaches
right now. Because Greg Popovich, how many times has he gone to the championship? Do you know?
Well, Tim Duncan just retired. He was in the league for 21 years. I think they went to the playoffs like 70% of those seasons. The last 20 years.
Not the playoffs, but like the finals.
That's what I meant. Like
70% of the time.
I think they have 5 championships. I want to say.
Jesus, how many did they have before that? When they had
They had 1 or 2. They had a good team in the late 80s.
Was Popovich the coach then too?
I don't know. But they had a good team before the Duncan era and before the Tony Duncan Ginobili era. But it wasn't like they weren't crazy dominant. Like back when the Bad Boys were out, they had like Hardaway. They had like a good team. They're still strong in the West because I think their organization is just good. They have good old coaches, but really good scouting. You know,
fundamentals. About fundamentals.
When Duncan came in, is for whatever reason, I don't know, he's just fucking the big fundamental. That's what they've been dominant for 20 years.
Have you watched them now?
I don't watch sports ever, but I see highlights. They're still good. They're still good.
Kawhi Leonard, because they just breed these fucking superstars. Yeah. You have Kawhi Leonard that comes in and he's fucking dominant. He's a sixth man 1 year, whoops ass in the playoffs. The next year, he's fifth man.
Yeah, he's fucking good, man. It's just when you look at franchises like that, dude, in any sport, basketball, football, baseball, hockey, it's not you can't have really individual players be that good for 20 years. It's not just the players.
Yeah.
It's the coaching and the fucking organization behind the players is just stellar.
Yeah.
People, you have to have a good team of recruiters and deal makers to get good players to your team. You have to have the foresight to see a young player knowing that he's going to be good. It's recruiting is like the number one step, I think. Like recruiting is so fucking important in sports. It's probably the most important thing that no one thinks about. You think about the players, you think about the coaches. But if you don't have a recruiting team, your team's gonna suck forever.
Yeah.
But when you get somebody who is okay, Tom Brady, 6th round, take that motherfucker. And then look what happened. You know, like you have to be able to understand the potential. That was
a crazy thing. They didn't even need Tom
because
Brady.
When you get shitty recruiters, like good recruiters, you'll see in the first round. First round, if you have a first round draft pick, a shitty recruiter might go pick someone like Tim Tebow because he's the best in college, right?
I don't think he was a first round pick, was he?
Tebow was. He wasn't the first pick. I don't know.
Was he a first round?
Tim Tebow? Fuck yeah, dude. Are you fucking? He's like double Heisman winner. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but
people thought he was gonna go first.
See where he's at, because I don't think he was first. He may have been first round, but I can't remember because I know there was a lot of people talking about his
first round, 25th overall
to the Denver Broncos.
So anyway, missing the point. The number generally what you see in sports is like obviously the way they balance it is in most sports. I think every sport, the shitty teams get to pick first. You get the first fucking pick.
Yeah.
And shitty teams generally have just shittier recruiting. Not shitty, to be fair. This is these people's fucking careers.
Well, that's the reason why they're losing.
But worse than the top teams. So you don't have great recruiting in your organization. Mm-hmm. So what happens is you just say, oh, that guy's got crazy college stats. And that's what they look at, it seems. And they don't think about the longevity, whether or not he's going to get injured. A great example is Greg Oden. You remember Greg Oden from Ohio State?
What was his name? Baby Shaq or something?
Yeah. He was a fucking monster in college. Yeah. He set like every fucking big man record in Ohio State. Holds to this day. He was insanely good. And, of course, you know, who drafted him? Was Miami? No. Was Bobcats or something? They fucking drafted him. He got injured in the first summer of practice. Like 1 week into practice, he just
but that's not recruiting. That was unfortunate.
The recruiting team is responsible for knowing like somebody's health, whether or not they're prone to injury. Do you think they have longevity? Does their stats in college going to really translate to their stats in professional? Because it's way different. So anyway, people recruit poorly.
Yeah.
And they try to just take the star, and stars do generally do well, but they try to just take the stars. And then when it gets to the back of the line, like in the 5th, 6th round, they don't know who to pick because they don't know who has potential. They just pick whoever.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a quarterback? Yeah, pick him for the 4th. But, like, good recruiters are like, no, that quarterback's going to be good. We're going to get that motherfucker in the 3rd round because nobody's going to want him. I've been watching him for a year, and I know he's good. He's got his mom's fucking Polish, and, like, I know he's going to work hard. Good recruiters know what the fuck's going on with people they recruit.
I wish there was
and that's what makes an organization better. Because they see in the future, bro.
Unfortunately, we have a lot of knowledge in this because the Lions are awful at it. But
they're terrible recruiters, man.
The crazy thing is it regardless of whatever the recruiter, how good the recruiter is? Let's say they like a guy like Barry Sanders can be good no matter what. He proves it. He's on a shitty ass team. He's still gonna be good. Those guys are fucking freaks.
Chad Johnson,
fucking freak.
Yeah.
What happens to the guys? What happens to the guys that you recruit that you think are going to be good, turn out to be bad? What if they went to a better team? Like, would they have a Hall of Fame career then? Is it not the recruiter? Is it the team? Is it the coach? Is it the environment of all the other players that lead to the downfall? Like, it would be sweet to have some sort of to be able to see both. Mm-hmm. To be able to go and place him, like go back in time, pick him out, and put him on a different team and see how his career would turn out. Because I think chances are a lot of these players would be better than what they are.
Yeah.
With better coaching, a better environment, and you'd have better players. Because some of these players are too good coming out of college, and like it baffles me that they're not that good in the pros. Like what the level of competition changes, but I feel like it's just coaching.
Bad coaching, bad synergy, man. You know, but again, that comes to the organization's ability to foresee the future. Like you have to understand who you're picking, whether or not they're going to fit in your team. Good organizations do that well. They'll say, well, like I know this guy's an incredible quarterback, but like he's not going to do well in our formations. He's not going to really. We'd have to change everything, which is never something you want to do in an organization unless you're doing terrible. You might want to change everything. So the good recruiters in a good organization will say, you know, he might be great, but we shouldn't bring him here. He's not going to do well here. They'll pick someone else. Every sport, you know, and that, like I said again, it's just whether or not your people have the foresight to be able to look at that. Because there's a lot of, I wish I could name off basketball players, but there's just so many athletes in every sport that they get drafted and they don't give a fuck because they're just excited to be drafted and be rich and like get to play basketball professionally or play whatever.
Yeah.
So the athlete themselves, whatever, they're just doing it. And they're just excited regardless of where they go. And then you don't realize until 5 years later, 10 years later, fuck, man, I, as a player, I would have been better off waiting or like, trying to get a deal with another team. But like that is a lot of the organization's fault, not foreseeing what this person's going to do and this person's going to do.
So yeah, it's real hard to see that.
But that's part of the game.
That's why Bill Belichick's the greatest,
because
he
understands,
one of the greatest coaches out of all sports.
Yeah.
Because he can see that. He can see what you're saying. He literally can understand exactly of everything you're saying and like be like, all right, I can see through all of the bullshit. I'm gonna pick this guy, and like it's nobody. It's like you're like
some dude in the 6th round.
Yeah, who the fuck is this guy? Comes out and gets the pick to win the fucking Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Malcolm, whatever his name is. I forgot what his name is. And some nobody name, and Bill Belichick just fucking knows this guy's gonna do.
Yeah, or for instance, Aaron Rodgers. That's a good pick.
Was he like? He was third round.
He was late. Yeah, 3rd round, and then like he was in the NFL. Because I don't think he wasn't with Green Bay immediately. I don't know who he's with, but
he was with Green Bay immediately.
Were they?
He was sitting behind Brett Favre.
Well, Green Bay had the foresight because they know good quarterbacks because of Brett Favre. They had the foresight to say, okay, well, Brett's getting old. We need to have fucking a young blood that's going to be able to basically take what we're already doing and just work with it.
Yeah.
And everybody else is like, well, Aaron Rodgers isn't that good. Look at him. He looks like a fucking idiot. He looks stupid. He looks like he's like white bread. He's lost. He doesn't have like a lot of swagger when he walks, right? He's just real awkward kind of white dude. And they're like, no, like he's got what we need. And sure enough, like as soon as Brett Favre leaves, give it a few games, Aaron Rodgers not doing well. Okay,
it was messy.
When he was gone,
yeah,
took only 5 games, and Aaron Rodgers was performing well. Not as well as Brett Favre, of course, legendary quarterback, but doing great. They still go to the playoffs. They still play very well. Now a little less, I guess, than they were, but
they beat the Lions.
Fucking
Aaron Rodgers.
They had the foresight to pick Aaron Rodgers. So that's just one story in a million stories in sports where it's all about the organization, being smart, and having the foresight.
God, I hate the Green Bay Packers.
I used to love him, man.
Here's the thing, is like I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers unless he was the Lions quarterback. If he was Lions quarterback, I'd love the shit out of him. Like the dude, not only is a Super Bowl winner, he's really fucking good. He has a hot ass girlfriend. He's like a funny guy, and like he always whoops the Lions' ass. So I can't fucking like him. Like, god damn it, Aaron Rodgers, like just retire. Just give the Lions a chance.
Who are the Lions playing tonight?
Seattle. We're gonna lose. Okay. So like
what time is it now? It's 4:00.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
We've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up in a minute. After this thought about how sad I'm gonna be tonight. And probably talk about it in the next podcast because the Lions are going to Seattle. The Lions had the chance to host its first playoff game in 20-something years. All right, guys. That's a big deal for us. It's a big advantage to have home field advantage at Ford Field. It's one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's behind like Kansas City and Seattle in terms of like we've never had a playoff game either, so we don't know how loud it can get, but we know it can get fucking loud.
People would be pumped, yeah. And tickets are cheap. It's a big thing too.
Well, they would be fucking
relatively
expensive for the first game.
Relatively,
yeah. So Green Bay comes in, they win. We lose our chance to play an easier team, the New York Giants, and instead we got to go to fucking Seattle,
which is far as dicks. That's not the entire country.
Yeah, well, it's good. It's better for us because we get more sleep. But it's hard because it's like literally the hardest stadium to fucking play in. Other than Kansas City, it's like the hardest. It's loud. It's the atmosphere. It's usually raining there.
Yeah.
We don't play outdoors.
Oh, dude, I wonder if it's gonna rain tonight.
We show inability, ineptitude to be able to stop a running quarterback of any sort. We can't tackle them. Our secondary is hurt, and our offense can't fucking score points.
Sounds like you don't have a lot of faith, man.
I don't. We need a Christmas miracle, a late Christmas miracle
A New Year miracle. It's too late for that.
We need it though. It doesn't matter. Maybe this is their Christmas gift. They win this game.
Ago.
If we win this game, I would. I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something. I don't know.
Do something crazy.
I'll do
Look
something
out for
crazy.
it on the vlog because I'm about to vlog that shit.
I'll do something crazy. I don't know. But it's not looking too hot for the Lions. The Lions are in a very, very rough position to win. Like, you couldn't have picked any worse situation to try to win a playoff game in. There's none, unless you're playing the Patriots in Gillette Field.
Well, that's the way it is, man. That's the way the playoffs start, dude. You got low seed, high seed, dude. That's just the way it is.
I have very low expectations for this game. Very low.
Well, we should probably. I gotta edit shit, and then we'll go watch. Anyway, so yeah, thank you guys for listening. If anyone's still listening to the podcast, appreciate your support. Thanks for listening. Make sure to give us a review on iTunes. If it's gonna be a 1-star review, just don't bother. You know, I don't want to waste your time. But we got a few reviews. I want to say thank you to you guys that do review us and do watch and listen. Appreciate it a lot. If you guys want to be here next week on Saturday, we'll be streaming episode 5. Feel free to stop by. Unless you're from the future, might be episode 100. We'll see. I'm going to be vlogging tonight the football game, so I guess you guys will know by tomorrow if we win. But you'll know whether or not we won based on Matt's face in the next video. I guess we'll see. If he's leaning back really far in next week's episode, it's probably because we lost the playoff game. So
I'm just not going to be in the video. I'm just going to not fucking be here.
Me talking to a chair. So, Matt, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some therapy because I will be upset. I'm gonna be very drunk if we lose.
For a week?
Yeah. Man, I don't think you understand how upset. Like, you've never actually watched me watch anything with passion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you might be embarrassed with me at like the bar because I'm just like,
I don't get embarrassed,
especially if I'm drunk. Matt, it's like Matt playing cards. You remember how that went?
I remember that.
Matt playing cards drunk is like you're like I'm annoyed. Matt watching football when the Lions are losing drunk is just like, oh Jesus, with this guy. Like, why the fuck are you fucking running the ball on 3rd and long? Why?
Damn, we just spiked.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the listeners' ears.
Rip.
We'll see what happens next week, man. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, listening. Make sure to check out the YouTube, check out the SoundCloud, etc. We're out of here. Next week's topics include furries.
Yeah,
and well, no, we're gonna talk about it anyway. And
yeah, that's it.
Nugget porn.
We just talk.
Furries and nugget porn next week. Don't miss it. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.